Hey everybody, welcome to Roll for Initiative Presents Session 15 of Icewind Dale Rime with the Frostmaiden. A lot of one thing happened last week, but it's still a lot, and someone needs to tell me what happened. And right now we have a very delicate choice of Zekel or Adax. So I'm just gonna roll a d4.
We should rock, paper, scissors for it.
Yeah.
Go for it, rock, paper, scissors somehow.
Okay. Okay. I think the way we should do this is Mim. Mim, you need to count down from 3. Well, once we both got the thing ready, then you need to count down from 3, and we both type at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You both need to make intelligent or insight checks to see if you know what the other one's gonna roll. Oh no, they're not gonna get
Okay. I've got mine typed out ready.
I have mine typed out ready.
3, 2, 1.
I don't want to do it. Is that my choice, or do I have to?
You have a choice.
Does that mean that he does it or he doesn't do it, or he gets to choose?
He has the choice.
Cool. I don't want to do it.
Okay. Session 14. So let's see. Our group, we kind of we're in Brinchander. There was a little bit of, I think, research at the very start. Then we left Brinchander and made our way towards the spine of the world, at which point I'm wondering what giant fell there. We headed west from the 10 Trails, I believe it was, and then it didn't take us long to find that a couple of us were being called towards what turned out to be I believe, Nautiloid they're called, for out-of-character purposes.
Yes.
We're an illithid ship, basically. Went through, we found out that Jensen apparently likes to kill baby gnome illithids without hesitation. And then a couple of us got shot. Zekel nearly went berserk and got a scolding after that. Not much else happened on the ship, really. We just kind of, accidentally lit on fire like an orchard once upon a time, and we left. Got attacked by a bullet, and then nearly all died.
I did die, technically.
Yeah, only once or twice.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Ship went boom.
I'll give you the XP.
It was an accident.
The initiative bonus to
It's always an accident, AJ.
inspiration. You know, one day I'll get the right word. It was an accident.
What, the illithid ship blowing up?
No,
Or the orchard?
that wasn't no. The orchard also no.
That was an accident, you damn well know it.
You said, "Do you have any information?" They said no, and then you replied with, "So now you burn."
I did not say that. I
You
stepped
have
backwards
no
and
proof.
accidentally knocked a lantern off a barrel.
Anyway.
Good times.
With that, we'll start off as the group is... You're limping. A bunch of you have limping. They all leveled up from the experience, but they're still really hurt. Zyrok and Zekel the most injured at the moment. As where are you guys going? Back to your
Back to the Axe Peaks first.
back to the
of
Axe
course.
Peaks?
I believe the plan was we were going to regroup and then figure out what we want to do.
Well, I think we might as well just keep going, because when we're going to the village...
Do you want to leave Sana behind?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, that we go get the axe peaks and then continue, not going all the way back to town.
We just got to go back across the river, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. So, the group of you... I forgot how long I said the trip was. I think it was hours. I don't think it was a day or so between. I think you
Yeah,
had
no,
to...
it was just hours.
Yeah, from when we left to when we got there, it was the same day.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we basically just headed like that, didn't we?
I'm just going to quickly have a look at the mountain travel rules again. Because you are technically going through a mountain range.
Yes. And the last time we did this, there was an avalanche,
There
and
was an
it
avalanche.
had words.
It did have words to speak.
We were fine.
You were fine.
Totally fine.
We found crevices, took minimal damage. No one suffocated.
Mountain travel, okay.
This time.
Who will be leading the group?
Honestly,
I
if we're
will
just
be
heading
limping
back to
along.
if we're just heading back to the Axe Beats, I can lead it to a degree.
Right.
I will help. My survival isn't terrible.
Okay, well, roll me a DC 15 Wisdom survival check.
Survival.
Yep.
Where is that? This will
The
go well.
last one.
Oh,
I mean, you
Where?
are
No one stopped me
Lead.
from leading.
why would you lead?
I
You
said
know
I
what
was
stopped me.
helping. Do
You
you want me
did.
to make my own separate check, or
It's up to you if you want to give Sam advantage.
I'll make my own separate
It'd be
check?
safer if you just separate.
I have a +4. You said DC 15. There's
Yep.
your DC 15.
As Ardax is like leading the group into an area that you know is prone to avalanches, you quickly grab her by the shoulders and point her straight in the direction you're supposed to go.
I don't think that's the right way to go. Please don't yell at me
Thank you.
again.
Mountains aren't my specialty. It's just I wasn't as injured, so I figured I'd try. You did good, son. You did good.
He is very conflicted at that.
You might
You
be
gotta pat his
smiling.
back.
It takes the good, probably, let's say, 2 to 3 hours. I don't know how long I said before. And frankly, I don't really care.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. As you all eventually make your way there, you see Sana is tied the axe picks up next to a tree. It seems to have gotten them across the river to where those trees are, in the, next to the white square.
What an
I'm slightly
absolute
down.
legend.
Ugh.
He's
We're back, Sana.
tied them up and given them feed. As I
What
can
time of
see,
day is it?
Mistress Ardax. Probably around late afternoon, early evening.
Okay.
I think. I should make notes of time and stuff, but you know what?
So,
Alright.
was there any trouble while we were gone?
Other than the process of bringing these creatures through the river, all is well.
Well, I think I'm gonna sit for a bit. Others might be doing the same.
You do look quite injured.
They're worse. I'm also looking at Zyruk and mostly Zyruk.
Whichever you're
I'm
looking for is
fine.
like
Falls
shit.
face first into snow. Snow.
I attempt to cast Cure Wounds, even though I can't cast Cure Wounds.
Roll intelligence.
It just touches people. It's not working. This is what they normally do.
Did you say intelligence?
I did.
Okay.
You try your hardest, but you don't seem to get the magic out like everyone else can.
Everyone else can heal in this goddamn party.
I cut myself to heal, but yes.
Eventually, you all either. I think that maybe since the axe beats are like chocobo-esque, I think like Rune is literally like in the feathers of hers, just passed out. Zyruk is face first in the snow, not getting up.
So are we planning for a bit of a long rest?
Whatever.
Sana looks at the group and is just like, if you all need to rest, I can take the full watch. I do not require any rest.
Should be okay. Let me see if I can help myself here.
Seeing as it's evening, I will take like first watch.
That lightning should not be there, but
You did lightning damage. So I'll
Yep.
take it.
Ardax just attacks herself out of nowhere.
Okay, let
10 out of
me-
10. I healed myself for -1 damage.
Okay, I think what we're gonna do with that, Sam, right, for your crimson,
So in other words, you stabbed yourself.
you heal.
Hey, it didn't work.
Did you lose 1 damage total then?
I was fucking around, AJ.
I know, but I'm just. Is that how that works? Do you have to take damage to heal?
Yeah, so for if I'm using the right focus of the Celestial, I basically do a 1d6 to myself, and then I can do a 1d6 plus one of my stats to heal someone else.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
like how the
it's-
damage and the amount that you heal is the same dice.
Yeah, so I
Sorry.
spend a use of my Blood Maledict. Basically, as a bonus action, I can heal one creature I can see within 60 feet. So basically, I damage myself with a Hemocraft die, and then I heal them for, yeah.
Okay,
And then he
so
kills
I'm gonna change your right effect to only do melee. If you ever apply your right to range, let me know.
You know what's funny?
We'll change
Zico coming over to cure wounds you healed you more than you healed yourself.
Somehow.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I was more just seeing what would actually happen if I rolled it against myself, see which would be higher.
Mm.
On average, you should. On average, it should be par.
On average, yes. But
With the +1, it's like it should be slightly skewed between healing him slightly more, but you get situations like this.
Yeah, outliers.
Yeah.
actually, wait, do I have to cut myself for my blood
You
maledict?
should probably check that because I don't think.
Mhm.
Turns out you've just been cutting yourself for no
I
reason.
mean, it could be for the. It could be specifically for healing other people, which is why you do it more than.
Ardex is just there.
Yeah.
You know.
First level,
Yeah.
you gain the ability to channel and sometimes sacrifice. Yeah, no, it is a point of version. Okay, no. I think it's literally just my blood maledict this entire time.
Okay,
So, yeah, I don't think I actually have to damage myself there.
that's fine.
That probably makes
Nice.
more sense. I'm gonna stick with the cutting myself because I find it amusing.
As you all eventually find yourself asleep, some of you stay up for watch, much to Sana's like, no rest, you should do that. The rest of you all wake up with relative in better health in body and mind the next morning.
Yay.
So this is where the level up would apply.
Yes.
All right. When everyone gets up, before Zekel notices, everyone else probably notices that his knees are backwards.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of an example. Hang on, my brain's not working.
I
Bird's
see
bird
you've-
knees are backwards, yeah?
I see you've been breeding with the axe beast.
Yeah.
And we'll probably proceed to not notice until somebody points it out.
Do we want a perception to see if we notice?
You know what? I'm going to perception see if I
Yep.
notice. I do not notice.
I notice.
I do not notice.
I just lift my head up from the snow. Man, I must be really fucked up from yesterday.
Is this your bestial soul?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just for the flavor thing, I'm doing the jump one.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know, so I'm going to proceed to look at the water. Nearby.
Is it always just looking up for Zekel that she just doesn't look at his legs?
I just put my face back in the snow. Alright, 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes and that should be gone, right?
Yeah, there's no way that he's got chicken legs, right?
Rune's just gonna get up and feed her goat.
Mm-hmm.
Feed the
Our
Goat's still on the other
emergency food.
side.
You feed the goat. Yeah, what are you guys gonna do? You have something to discuss.
Water's nearby. It looks peaceful. I'm going to go check for fish.
Okay.
Basically, I'm walking away very briefly because I just want to see what the water's like this morning.
So, do we want to continue on to Zekel's home, or do we want to head back to town first?
Dex did say it was going to rain today.
Wait, let me double check on that. You know what? That's what I'm...
See, I remember some things you did do
Gonna
Druid
do one at the
class
water.
last session, and I'm
My-
pretty sure AJ said it was going to rain.
Snow.
What's the weather like for the next 24 hours, AJ?
It's going to snow.
Okay. My drill craft is paying off here.
Wild.
Putting in work.
The snow place is going to snow. Huh.
As you approach the river, you see that it is treading as it was yesterday. The water is going. Need to have a look at the full picture to determine where exactly. I think it's heading towards the west. The mixed
So towards
river
that, where it goes off the map.
Yep. He says it's flowing that way. It's got a stream that like I had yesterday. It's still cold as it is. It's not frozen over though.
You know, would I be able to get like fill up a teapot with it and then boil it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just get comfortable by the river and start making tea because I can.
Ardax comes back and sets up the fire from last night and puts her tea kettle on it and begins to boil some water. The rest of you, what are you doing?
Rin's still waiting for answers from her question.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys. I was busy making tea.
I lift my head back up, still has the weird backwards knees. Alright. I want to continue on. It'll take longer to go back, I feel.
Not a bad idea. I think that would be best as well.
Cool. Only if everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
You just go through and okay.
You know these mountains.
The main reason we're coming out here was for the weird, like, meteor and then you're home. Did the weird meteor. Might as well continue on.
Assuming you could call that thing a meteor.
I mean,
What a meteor. It's a typical mess.
it was pretty meaty, so...
Actually, AJ, is there any like this lingering smoke in the mountains, or is it all sort of gone?
By this morning, there seems to be a small stem of grey smoke coming where you're from. It's nothing too much,
Just
but
figured I'd ask.
it's beginning to fade away. Just need to have a
Well-
look at X peaks real quick.
It's for someone else to explore now.
X peaks. Sana looks at a lot of your music. Your creatures here, they don't seem to be ones that can scale the mountains. They work better a lot on the flat and hilly snowlands as opposed to the mountainous regions of the area.
Perhaps we should go back into town and drop them off then.
That's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Unless, Sequel. You,
Yes.
you wouldn't happen to know a path a little easier through the mountains to where we're going, would you?
Hey Jay, I wouldn't know a path that's a little easier through the mountains, would I?
You
To see if your history's there.
What do you have for your background? Far travel. You don't have the other one that instant lets you know. It's been how long did you say? A year? More?
Yeah, about 12 months.
It's been a year. You know. Roll me history.
Okay.
As you're thinking about it, Sana's like, it's not impossible to bring them with you. It's just that there's no benefit. You wouldn't be going any faster if you were walking. You know the area relatively well enough to take a decent part of the trip in flatter areas, but you know that at some point you have to scale some parts of the mountain, which there are paths and paths up, and you know which ones there are, so it's nothing too horrible. But you know that it will be a trek regardless. Oh, sorry.
I turn to Ardax and say, time takes its toll on all paths.
Yeah, that's something Druids told me. Well, then I guess we're just left with figuring out what to do. We could take them.
I mean, if we're just going up to your village, I assume that they probably won't attack us. And if, like, you know, so
That's
there's
a
no...
good point. Will they attack us? Because you're the only Goliath.
No, I'm relatively sure that they're a very friendly group, much friendlier than the other
Okay.
group.
So
But
then
we've
we
had
don't, like,
travelers there before.
so we won't have to worry about Sana then, because don't need the extra power. So we could just leave them here with him, because he obviously showed that he can look after them. And would they understand Sana? Would they question it? Like, would they freak out?
They didn't freak out before.
As I'm taking a wild guess here, but as far as they can tell, Sana's just another humanoid.
I meant the Goliaths, not the.
That I don't know about.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, maybe because we're not gonna go fighting, so we won't need the extra person.
Well, if you're okay with that arrangement, Sana, then we can maybe meet you back here and I assume at Dale,
Even
so-
if like he comes along and we find somewhere a bit closer.
That would probably be best.
Or at least a cave similar to the one we stayed in before we arrived at the fucking squid ship thing.
That's a good idea.
Well, let me know when you're ready and I'll leave the tip
Yeah.
of spear.
Also,
again.
quickly, does anyone else notice his legs, or is it just me?
Hang
Just
on.
do
hang on.
They do look a little bit weird.
I proceed to freak the fuck out.
Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me, because everyone was talking normally, and he's got chicken legs.
No,
I
like,
start
Still-
trying to run away from my legs.
Still nothing. He just looks like a same old Zekel to me.
What? Oh my god, that's not healthy.
And then I jump in the river.
You notice as you jump higher than you usually do, and longer than you usually do.
Can he leap the river yet?
He goes jump in the river, just leaps over the river.
I can roll to see how far I actually jump.
You can.
Let's try that. Let's see what happens. That's 25-foot jump. That's pretty fucking far.
Yeah, jump 25 feet, land somewhere in the river.
Just throws his head under the water and just everybody just sees bubbles come up, like large bubbles, then comes back up and I don't know what's happening to me.
Zekel, are you okay?
Slowly wades out of the water. I don't know.
is it like your tail? Like, are they gonna
I
go
don't
away?
know.
Is this a normal Goliath thing? Do other Goliaths legs go?
I mean, we can ask them when
No.
we get to the village.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing we're going back to your village.
I've had my leg broken and it doesn't hurt. It look and just proceeds to not look at him.
Can I
Out of
for a
sight, out of
medicine roll on his legs?
I
See if it's like
was-
actually okay and crap.
Yeah, go ahead, roll a medicine check.
Go for stuff with my rolls. I'm rolled above a 10.
They look like axe big legs. They're sturdy chicken legs. You can
Quick,
even
look at the aspects. Any of them have his legs?
notice- well, it doesn't
You
end
didn't
in
do
a.
anything weird with the axe beaks, did you?
No.
Did you try to cast magic by any chance?
Yes.
What did
What
you try to
sort of-
cast?
Cure wounds. Let's see you guys use it, right?
I
Yeah, cure wounds.
I
Probably.
don't use it though.
Yeah, I do.
Jake,
Wait,
can I
show
do
me-
an
show me-
Arcana check?
Show me what you did again.
Did this, and I proceed to just think really hard at I don't know. Zyric was the one that was hurt last, so I just do the same as that.
I'll pause for 3 seconds watching you think hard and then go, God, that's not cure wounds, that's create axe beak legs.
Hang on, hang on. Yep. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. How do I fix it? How do I fix it?
I think he's stuck with us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can
Well-
we
Oh
do
shit.
a little something?
Let's just try and get up the mountain. Maybe your people will know.
Who knows? Maybe with how far you jumped, you might be able to just jump to the top of these mountains, like just hop, skip, jump all the way.
I'll throw you up there first.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm one of the heaviest, other than you. But you know, if you can do it, I believe in you.
Well, Sana, as soon as the axe picks are done eating, we'll get going, find a place a bit closer and see if that's more ideal for resting.
Understandable. He gets up and starts getting himself ready. He gets rid of all the smoke. He's just been sitting in the same area all night.
It's like a Buddha.
You are one dedicated mummy.
Who's your mummy?
Indeed, and he gets up and helps prepare probably Ezekiel's one now, because who knows if Ezekiel's gonna even ride it.
I'm not gonna ride it. I'm gonna take the elk pelt that I've been sort of wearing and tie it around my waist so I don't see my legs, like on the front, like how you tie a jumper you're not using, except
Yeah.
spun around.
Fair enough. It's like a apron almost.
Yep.
I was more
So I had a
thinking like when you're a kid and you accidentally piss yourself and you're covering it up before you leave.
I haven't had that happen, so I can't relate to that.
Yeah, no, I can't relate to that either.
Oh yeah, me neither. What are you guys
Zach,
talking?
you trying to say something?
Zach's telling on himself.
Yeah, you know me. Piss pants Zach, they used to call me. It was a terrible, terrible time.
With that, can I have whoever's leading roll another DC 15?
I vote Zekel.
I also vote Zekel.
Okay, I'll lead us home.
Oh,
That's not a.
You have
Technical
advantage while you're traveling this path.
Oh hell yeah!
No, really
nice.
As you begin leading, you point out signs and structures and carvings of a people warning, mainly Goliaths, because not many people know giant script about danger zones, etc. And you keep pointing them out to everyone as you do that. Eventually, you find a place to rest for the night. You know you're probably another day or maybe two, depending on how hard you ride the next day, away from your home. As you find a cave to rest in.
So how far along are we?
You're a day in. You're probably...
Man, I'm looking at the map, that's why I'm asking.
Let me just get it up. Let me move the square. That's what I want to do. Close, please. Let's I forgot which one closes it. That sucks. Okay. Not close. I wanted to make it a thing. Probably around about here. You know you need to travel a couple more.
Is this where we're heading, roughly?
On the actual mountain, yeah.
Oh. Progress. I assume it's late.
Yeah, it's been a full day of probably around 12 to 14 hours of traveling up the mountain.
Well, since time has passed, I'm gonna check the weather again. Assume it's
Sure.
still gonna be snowing tomorrow.
Against all odds, it's still snowing tomorrow.
Against everything, it's still
Mhm.
you. There's gonna be no wind, it's not gonna precipitate in any way, and it is gonna be quite cold though. It's gonna be about 20 degrees colder than usual.
I proceed to give the weather report to the rest of the party before we figure out what we're doing.
It will get colder as we get higher as well, because that's how attitude works.
You know, we would make a great Muse team. We should consider that when we get back to the towns.
What's a muse?
Yes. It's like the thing in the paper. The thing that people yell on the corners.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what you're talking about, let alone Zekel.
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
I'm talking about the little pauper boys that sound the corners and yell news at people.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
eventually you all rest up and you begin your second day through the thing. Zico, give me another roll.
Still with advantage.
As you're getting closer, you're realizing you're remembering the path you took down. And on the second day, you surge past. You stop around the same time. Usually, you stop around around the 12 to 14 hour mark, as it's probably approaching around dusk. You know you're a couple hours out at this point. So what are you guys are gonna do?
Well, is there a safe spot around here to leave Sana and the axe beaks, or?
You've passed a cave or two that can house them.
Yeah, I reckon we should double back and get them set up in a cave.
Yeah.
And then we'll rest in the cave with them, and then we can go in earlier. Nothing's more sus than rocking up in the middle of the night.
How are your new appendages feeling?
I don't want to talk about it.
Have they disappeared?
I lift up the jumper, not looking at it so everyone else can see, so they can tell me what's going on. 'Cause I don't want to look at it.
Disappeared.
Alright, Zico, they disappeared though. Jeremy, have they disappeared?
No.
Okay.
It's fine. Just don't look. Then Rune just pats his arm.
It's looking good. Once we have the correct supplies, we can fix your legs.
I don't know
Well-
why they need fixing in the first place.
You all say this as you travel back another hour. You make your way into a cave that seems to be large enough to house your birds and Sana.
I'm doing a check of the cave to make sure it's not doesn't have any signs of
It's not an animal
habitation.
cave, yeah.
Alright.
Like some big fuck off bird.
Would that be nature, perception,
Survival.
survival? Yeah, that probably makes most sense actually. I don't know why you trusted me to do this. Someone else should be looking.
Nah, you said it, you do it.
As you look around, you start trying to look for any signs of animals. Given your training with the Emerald Enclave, this isn't difficult for you.
My training with them was a bit different, but yeah.
Yeah. But knowing that they're highly druidic, they would have taught you basics of where shit's living, and how to determine if something is there. You can't find any signs of wilderness or wildlife there. If they are, you assume they're going to be a lot more further back into the cave. So you decide to let them know. Someone lingering right now.
I don't know, but I hear weird noises in the background occasionally.
Yeah, it sounds like
Zooming
someone's
out.
phone.
It's not me.
Someone's playing a game.
Lucky.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Playing Bejeweled.
Is that better, Darren? I was lying back away from my mic. If not, I'll just raise my stuff. But yeah, you all finish your rest. You get them in there. You let them know that you should stay away from the back of the cave just in case. And at least that way, if there is something, Sana can get them to bolt relatively quickly without getting them hurt. But now you'll rest up for the evening. As you do, you begin making your way forward. I won't have the roll because you're only a couple hours out this time and you know which way you're going. And you've done rather well. Or you know what, just roll it again. Just in case. Who knows if you fuck up.
Okay.
No, you're fine. As it takes... Yep.
I was just gonna say, I'm going to actively hide and walk behind Zeocal.
Okay.
I'm just looking around because of, like, I assume this place is very different in terms of, like, its flora and such.
Yes, it's quite different from what you know. Being the forest near Dugan is where you mainly have been. The mountainous regions seem to have a lot of different things. It seems to be, while there are trees, they're a lot more spindly and a lot more They still have leaves and such, but not many, not in comparison to the large redwoods and esque.
Nothing that stands out as anything I can make a unique tea out of. So
There seems to be a lot of different fauna as well, a bunch of different birds and animals that don't very much appear on there. There's a large appearance of goats. You don't really see many goats down in the base area, down in like the plains-like areas, but there are a lot of mountain goats traveling around as you've been walking past.
Rune, did you leave the coat with Sana, or are you carrying it still?
I would have left it with Sana.
Okay.
We don't need to bring emergency food with us.
You sure?
Is that
I'm
it?
naming the goat emergency food, by the way.
I assume so.
EF.
Okay. I'll try not to get too distracted from the group while we're walking.
As you keep walking, fresh tracks in the snow make it relatively easy to find the Goliath settlement of Wormdoom Crag on the northern slope of a soaring mountain. Following these tracks leads you to a cave, outside of which the bones of a dragon lay half buried in the snow. Past their remains, torchlight flickers in a pair of tunnels that burrow into the mountain, leading west and south. East of the dragon bones, rough-hewn steps climb to a 20-foot-high open-air arena with stone bleachers carved into the eastern wall. Rising from the arena floor are more dozen pillars of rock, each 5 to 8 feet tall and about a foot in diameter. I'll grab a map.
I hope you all are ready. This is going to be interesting, to say the least.
Your
Very much hiding behind Zico.
your parents are here, yes?
Yes.
Parents?
I'd like to see the people that raised you.
You've already met one set of them.
One, yes, but I'd like to see the other.
Okay, if you say so.
He wants to see the ones that gave birth. Guess what's it?
Let me chuck you all on the map, even though you don't really super need to be there.
This is where we find out they only speak giant, though.
That's where you find out I don't speak giant.
I don't know
That's
what you
he
speak.
You know I speak Yeti.
I'll
I know you
show
speak- Yeah, that's fair.
And you see this as well from the description.
This is a wondrous looking place. What are we standing on?
Dragon bones. It's where the clan got its name from. Wormdoom.
Huh.
You know that these are the bones of an adult white dragon named Stigarius. I'll spell that out for you.
Another white dragon.
Can I have everyone roll perception as well?
Okay. Oh. Oh. I don't see anything. I'm just firmly behind Zegal. I see nothing but Zegal.
You see leg.
You see backwards legs because it doesn't go all the way around.
Rune, yeah, you're too busy, but everyone else, you see hiding in parts of the bones are a group of these little dudes.
Nope.
Oh, damn. They are adorable.
I haven't seen them yet. The image is still loading.
They are adorable.
I want to have tea with them.
I think with how small they are, you could probably make
Yeah,
tea
no,
out of them.
they are
Yeah,
pretty
tiny.
fucking small.
Oh, that's a very big fork.
And a very big pine cone.
One, they don't all look like this. One has a white face with a triangle painted over one eye. The other has also has a white face with two concentric blue rings around one eye. I think the only... Does Zarek have a beard?
Half a beard.
Yeah. It's patchy. It's not the best. I'm pretty sure scar tissue can't grow hair, so.
You see as this one with the two blue rings runs up to you with a pine cone. The third has a curly black antennae growing out of its head, and it's just walking around. It seems to have like no visible face, unlike the others. It seems to be hidden by like the strips of rag that it's got over it. And the last has a gown of pine needles made out of it. It's got like its robes that it has is made out of like pine trees, which is what I meant before instead of redwood because I'm silly. But yeah,
They look friendly.
the one that's rushing towards Zyric climbs up him with relative ease and then starts trying to brush the patchy beard with the pine cone.
Guys,
Do you happen to know what these are, Zekel?
I have
Do I happen to know what these are, AJ?
Yeah, you know that these are chingwas. They're just nature spirits. Your client tends to ignore them. They don't really do any harm, and they're just sort of there. They are usually fascinated on one type of thing, most of the time, and this one might like beards. That's what you're assuming.
They're just sort of spirits, I think. I'm not sure.
see. We've had run-ins with bad spirits. Are they gonna take me over like the other ones?
I can only hope.
Oh.
I'm going to approach the one that's kind of hanging off his beard, I assume. I'm going to hold my hand out and just see if it's interested in sticking there, if it wants to jump over. I'm not sure how
I don't
curious
have
these
a
beings would
beard.
be. I don't have a beard, but I'm just kind of curious.
Roll charisma.
Just flat charisma?
I'm waiting for Sam to immediately go, can I use the presence thing?
You see as it hops across your arm, gets to your neck, and starts rubbing the pine cone against your scales. Doesn't really.
It
See,
scales. I don't think it's going to do any
yeah,
harm.
it
So.
doesn't really seem to do anything, and it shrugs and then jumps back onto Zyric and starts curving him.
So, you little guys don't happen to speak, like, much? I assume they, don't speak common or anything like that.
Look, I don't believe so.
I mean, I'll say hi in, like, Draconic and Elvish as well, but I doubt it'll be a response.
They all
Or it
like
could be-
they all seem to twist their head up.
As in, they have no clue,
Yeah.
I assume. Well, I tried. Don't think they mean harm, so, I'll be ready to head further in when you are. I
Are
guess I'm
these things
gonna...
usually this close to your house, Eric? Do
I
you guys
mean-
like co-dwelling or?
They kind of just exist.
I'm gonna go observe the other two while we wait.
Yeah.
I assume they're, like, further ahead here or something.
There's three, yeah. They're hiding in different ribs.
God damn it, I keep closing the fucking image.
Should we keep heading in then?
Alright, I guess I just got a friend now.
Yep, okay. And I proceed to lead the way.
After about 10 minutes and like it combing relatively, it's made it relatively like it's still patchy, but it's like neatened. Once it's relatively happy with its job, it hops back off, waves, and then runs and hides in the things.
It just comb over your face.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
You're looking a lot better now, though.
It didn't comb over, it just made it look less scraggly. It's not like
Yeah.
hanging down, it's combed back. It's not trying to cover the patches of burn mark or anything, it's neater now.
Yeah.
Keep it that nice, Zarek, and I might treat you to a drink.
The other four of them, he seems to group up with the other Chinglas, and like they all seem to be like a rib or so behind you, or like hiding behind it, staring at you, seeing what you guys are doing.
Rune just watches them in confusion, walking backwards behind Zekel.
Zekel, you know that the stairs are leading you to the goat ball court. The path south of you is going to lead to where is the main hall, and the path on the west is leading you to the weaponsmith. Unless they've changed everything while you're gone.
Oh, you just, yep, I head in the direction of what I imagine would be the town hall,
Okay.
where all the people would be at.
reveal it. Sorry, I'll be there in a second. Chat, just let me fix it up on one screen and then I'll fix it up on the other. That's how it works. Okay. Can I zoom out anymore? I cannot zoom out anymore. Okay. Move you guys forward. So wish I could group select. That's one of the only problems I have with Fantasy Grounds is group select. If I could do that, that'd be fantastic. Okay. This cabin has a domed roof, 30 feet high, and an open well in the middle of the floor. 2 youthful Goliaths use ropes and a bucket to draw water from the well, while 6 adults wrangle a handful of exuberant Goliath toddlers. Rough-hewn stairs ascend to the southern part of the cave, where the floor is 10 feet higher. Seated in this area, next to a crackling fire, is a female Goliath with grey hair, many scars, and a white cloak made out of mat and goat hide. Leaning against the wall, behind her is a great axe with a bone haft. She gnaws at a pipe as she tries to settle a dispute between 2 Goliath children.
Here we go. I enter and I knock my fist against the wall in order to grab some sort of attention.
You see as some of the Goliath wrangling children turn your way. One in particular, your mother. Let me just quickly have a look at this.
The way you said it sounded like an insult. Just like, oh, your mother!
Your mom. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the page.
Rory will still stay like right behind Zabel. Yes, yes.
You see, she comes up and is like, Zeke, you are safe. You had us worried for a while.
Yeah.
Your mother's name is...
Notes that I finally get to take.
Chi-Chi.
He doesn't even know the name of his own mother.
Yeah, I do now.
It's a fucked up nickname book. There's a nickname for Goliath that's called Twice Orphaned.
Okay.
And then your last name. No, I was twice orphaned, you know? Both sets of parents died.
Actually, so fucked.
Why would the book even have that?
Cause why not?
Why not? You see, like she's wrangling what looks like a bunch of kids. You know that your mother, is helps raise the young, and is in charge of their education and making sure they don't do bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be in second, yeah.
As you all walk through, you see as the other people stop. Some of the children that are a bit older, who recognize you, Zeke, will come up and start tugging you and wanting to play. There's noting you've been gone for a while. You still hiding your legs?
The front part, yes, but
Okay.
kids are rascals and get around everything, especially me.
Yeah, you see as they start running through your things, oh, what's this? They run through your legs and lift it up like they're hiding under a blanket. And everyone, your mother especially sees your legs, but doesn't really say anything about them. The rest of the children all seem to stop complaining, and as you'll hear now, but Nala goes, "Your father is out hunting. He shall be home soon, I'm assuming. Have you finished what you set out to do?"
Not quite. There was a problem when I left. heading down the mountain to the 10 towns. I was jumped by a pack of dire wolves.
Oh.
Barely made it out.
She, at this point, like, she's holding a toddler and passes it on to one of her assistants and then begins looking you over motherly. Eventually just placing your hands on you and is like, you've gotten taller and more mountain. You don't look injured at all. Well, almost dead injured. She like notes a couple of scars that you've taken in the last couple of dates. But you seem to have gone stronger, which is nice.
I was concerned coming back, expecting to be ridiculed for failing.
As you know, this is not as he knows, as Jeremy knows, but as Ezekiel will know. We do have the two different methods of proving your adulthood. You've chosen the more dangerous one, and there is no limit on how many times you can return or how long it takes for you to complete it, as long as done to the satisfaction of your own choice. And you've chose one of the most difficult tasks to do. As long as you come back alive, there shall be no ridicule.
Well, that puts me at ease, Mother. But I haven't completely failed. I have collected what I believe to be a couple items that match what I need.
As is like, well, we all see what Ogolai has to say when she's finished this debate with the two children over there. And these people behind you, are they your...
Oh, of course, the introductions. Yes. So these are some friends that I have made along the way in very precarious circumstances. As he starts to remember that he was following his own tracks, lost all the way up north. This is Zarek, Ardax, Jensen, and kind of tries to look and turn around, but I assume Rune is just staying behind him.
She's just like very slightly peeking out from behind.
And this is Rune. Everybody, this is my mother Nala.
Any friend of Zyrok? Not Zyrok. Any friend of Zyrok? Yes, me, I'm back, mother. Any friend
It's
of...
been many moons.
You've grown shorter and more orcish. What happened? Smack.
It's crazy.
Ghost.
I was in this fire
Ghost.
and I came out like this.
Any friend of Zekel's is a friend of us. Come,
Rune just
make
gives,
yourself
like, a
comfortable.
little awkward move.
As she brings you in, you come inside and you sit down on some of the, while they function as sleeping bags during the night, during the day, you know that they're like mats, you can sit on them, no one really cares where you sit as long as you treat it respectively.
Are we allowed on near the fire?
Currently there is the old woman is with the two children there. And she, as you go to approach, she's like, oh, we should wait for her to finish her deliberations.
I start contemplating how I'll sit down and cross my
No
legs,
respect.
and then just stand.
Is there something wrong, Zico?
Yes. And I undo the pelt and attach it the way it normally is. This is recent, and I don't know what's going on, and I panic. And then there's been other things that's happened, and I also panic. I don't know what's happening to me.
Have you been gaining the muzzle of a beast, of a wolf, or the tail of a dragon or a lizard?
Yes.
Then all is well. It is part of your heritage. Your father comes from a long line of Goliath with lycanthropy in his blood.
Like, I like the bear that we met, right? As it turned everyone else. Isn't that what she said she was?
Lycanthropy is basically one creature being able to turn into another if the druids taught me well enough.
Or just quietly nods her head.
Though
He is,
typically speaking, it's werewolves, if I'm not mistaken.
There are legends of werebears in here. It says the name of the one that I can't. Let me look it up. Please. Of course. There are many legends of different werebears. While your father doesn't have the powers himself to transform into a beast, he is descended and has some control, not full transformations. Like you, he can change his body to gain bestial abilities. This is a shock for you, of course, but as you learn to adapt and grow, you should be able to control which aspects come out at certain times. You are healthy. You are not broken in any way. It just takes some time to get used to, and then time even more to control and manipulate this power.
Well, that's a relief, I suppose.
She has a look through when he comes back, he can allow you some more information. But if I remember correctly, these powerful legs will allow you to jump farther and higher. Give you extra control as you're moving. As you move. As she's trying to explain the best, but doesn't really is secondhand knowledge to her. Really, she only knows what your dad's told her.
Mm-hmm.
But to get rid of it for now, why not, as you're waiting, just think of your legs as they are normally, and maybe they will disappear. I know it takes some concentration to gain and lose them, but maybe, you have to wait, give it a shot.
I sit down with my legs just straight out, but not being able to do the cross sit.
Yeah.
Just falls on my ass.
Okay.
My legs out straight and just concentrates.
Let me quickly look up the name I want to know. Aya Minotaur. Yes, she mentions Aya Minotaur as the most well-known lycanth werebear in Goliath history, and you're all like, "Oh, have we met her?" She's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Let me quickly read your bestial soul ability, just so I'm correct when it ends.
It's just a long rest I can swap between the three. Short rest I can swap between the three attributes.
Bestial soul. There we go.
One would be difficult to explain.
Yes. As you think for a moment, you as you think for a moment, you quickly your legs over the course of an hour sort of just like they shimmer a bit as it's going. It's not really a full-on like bone-breaking transformation, like bunch of gross noises happening thing.
I totally thought it was going to be a bunch of gross noises and shit.
If you want it to be that,
yeah, I do.
Sure. You see as a bunch of the kids are going ew as they're looking at it, like gross, run away, and then like peek around the corner to see it still going on. Eventually, your legs return to normal. For the most part.
That's a bit better. Oh,
Do you feel better?
I don't feel any different, but I feel better.
Well, it's better than nothing.
At this moment, at this moment, you see as the two children below they finished their thing. A bunch of emotions have happened. If people attention, there's yelling, then sadness, then eventually calmness, and now that they're happily playing with one another, they run up as you see this scarred, elderly Goliath. Ezekiel, you're home. Come, bring your friends down here to get some warmth.
I gesture for everyone to follow as I head down.
Yep, Bryn stays right behind Sequel again.
I won't hesitate.
Bitch.
What?
I'm sorry. I had to add the bitch onto the end of I won't hesitate.
Fair enough. Yeah, if we're being invited down to the fire, I'll gladly take a seat. I don't care what the floor's made of.
I'm just having...
Floor is made of floor.
If we sit, Rune's gonna sit like still kind of half behind Sequel.
You know her as her name is Ogolai Orcsplitter Thunlakalaga, or Wormdoom in the common tongue. But you know that many people in your tribe call her Old Goat endearingly.
Old what, sorry?
Old Goat.
Old goat.
Because
Good
of
enough for me.
the thing. Hey, Jeremy, your money came through.
Oh, sweet. Cha-ching!
Thanks, Fern.
I just realized I still have my badger on me.
Yeah, if it didn't die.
I'm gonna let the badger sit down on my lap.
I kind of eyed it and said, "No, keep an eye on him. Children are mischievous, to say the least. Especially around these parts when there's not a lot to do."
If they choose to play with it, I won't stop them. I'll move over.
Rough,
if you want.
rough
There you go.
play, but okay.
As you sit, it's good to see you once more, Zico. How goes your journey?
Full of bumps and long, but progress.
Uh-huh. What
Well,
progress have you made?
I believe progress, and I unwrap the pelt and roll it up, place that in front of me, pull out the lower jaw of the crag cat that I have, place that down, and then unhook the fish hook that I pierced in my ear and place that down as well.
You just see Rune cringe in the background.
It takes a little bit for... Oh, no, it doesn't, because you can just go the other way. You start pulling it, like, as you put it in with the hook point, and then you're wondering why it gets stuck, and then you're trying to force it a little, but then Rune is like, no, just the other way, please, before you bring the hole in your ear. that you
Rune
can't-
just slaps his hand, stops him, and does it herself.
He's been fun.
Well, I believe this is 1, 2, 3 out of the 6 that I need.
She has a look, it's like, this indeed is the hide of the prey, as she hands you back the pelt, hands the fang of a predator, hands you back the jaw. And this is something of water. Not traditionally what one would get, but one that is surprising and should do well for your task.
I was told it was a magic fish hook.
Even better.
That's the most condescending thing.
If you went on the trial to retrieve it, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as you think it believes it fits the criteria and you've learnt something from the trial.
Yeah, dwarves are assholes.
Indeed they are. Gee.
I don't think we got. I don't think it was Droll. I think it was.
It was
No.
technically Duergar, but close enough.
Same thing.
I see them as dwarves
Dark
as well.
dwarves.
I take back the pelt to the jaw and hand the hook to Brune, knowing
Yeah.
that I'll get scolded again for trying to
Yeah.
put it in, because totally would have put it in the barbed way again.
Rune just carefully puts the earring back in and just goes, just be careful with it, please.
Well then, what brings you home? Not that we don't mind the company, but you were quite adamant about doing everything first and then coming back.
Yeah, well, we ran into something further down the mountains, which everyone wanted to explore, which I'd recommend to stay away. There's this weird squid thing that's probably on fire still, not entirely. That will.
Is he dropping it for anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Jeremy, you alive?
Oh, his net might have died.
Jeremy?
Yeah, what? Can you not hear
No,
me?
there he is.
No,
What,
you,
the back?
you dropped out
Did
for
I-
a bit there.
Oh, I died. Typical fucking phone problems. That over there. Alright, where was I up to then?
You were
Explain
talking
about
about
the
the.
Started.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking about the Nautiloid.
Okay. Yeah, so we encountered this weird squid thing. I'd suggest to stay away from it. And after we encountered, what was the name of the lycanthrope again?
Uh,
Write it down this time.
let me type it out then. Why am I? Oya Manatok. Oya Manatok. Thanks.
Oh yeah, Minotaur, of course. How could I forget? We ran into a Minotaur on our travels, and she said that it might be beneficial for my child to come back home, and then, well, she mentioned something else about attempting to make amends with the other tribe after all this time.
As her eyes widen at the name, and when you mention everything else, they go back, but she's still listening to everything you're saying, and just wanna have a look. She looks over and is like, well, if she is recommending peace among our tribes, then it has been a long time. And honestly, this field is hurting both of our clans more than helping either. As she's moving around the fire, but still relatively in front of you. I'm proud. I'm fine to meet the leader, Arn Akanathi. But he would insist that we meet him over at Sky Tower Shelter. But I would prefer it that they met here, in our Goatball court, or if further neutral ground could be found, I'm happy to go and discuss with him there.
Neutral grounds would probably be best, but I can't think of anywhere that would be neutral enough to both sides. I don't know how stubborn they are going to be. Unless any of you have any ideas.
I
I don't know. Sorry.
just trying to find where I put my map of Icewind.
There are a few mountainous areas that can suffice. If that walking stillborn will even attempt to go anywhere other than his home. But he is pig-headed and stubborn. It might take quite a feat to get him to recognize you as someone worth listening to.
Yeah.
If you can convince him to meet up, we can find an area that would suit both parties in the meantime. Preferably, I would like to do it here, but I know him well enough to know that he won't even try.
I imagine he would say the same thing about wanting to meet in his domain.
Exactly. It's a matter of who appears stronger. If one of us relents, we are inherently weaker than the other in terms of tribe mentality. A neutral ground would solve both of these issues, but that's if he even agrees to meet.
Well, I can try if you guys don't mind. That is.
I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well then. For now, you look tired and wanting a place to rest before doing anything else. Have a few days to relax. Feel free to explore the systems. Feel free to eat with us. Down below, as she points to the corridor below. She has a look at a lot of you. Any of you healers by chance? Not physicians or anything. More magically inclined. We have an injured visitor who we've set the injuries, but we believe magical healing may be the only option for them.
Offer to cure some wounds.
Jensen would be the best for healing.
Wow.
And also Zyric.
I've literally taken all my spells to help heal people and be like support. Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the weird wizard guy's best.
Look, he's all holy and stuff. He's meant to be healing.
And he's got
What
wings
a-
and shit.
He does have wings and shit.
Forget the
Perhaps it'd be best we see who needs healing and then decide who would be more appropriate based off that.
literally can just touch someone and heal them 25 points.
Alright.
Oh, actually, no. Wait, I'm up to 30 now.
As you're all sitting here, we will. I think this is a good time for our break as we get into some of the other stuff in this clan later. So we'll go take a quick break, we'll buy a break, get some food, get some drink, get some water, all that stuff, and we'll be back relatively quickly. I'm gonna quickly leave the room for a little bit after I fix Zyric's lay on hands. Unless he's already done it. He has.
No.
I just did it.
Nice. I like when people learn to use this program. It's good. It means I don't have to do less work.
I try my best.
You do try your best, and I appreciate it.
See, there's a lot of little things I could do, but when it comes to like levels up and that, I'm just like, ah, fuck, I forgot how to do it again.
Well, good. Right, I'll be back in a bit.
I really hope there is something written in this module that has rules for Goat Ball. I want us to play Goat Ball.
Oh no. Welcome back.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
The
Whole lot of
preparation for Go
silence.
Ball.
Uh, So, 4 of us can heal, yes?
Yeah, I can heal.
5 of us.
Oh. Hmm.
Like an anti-heal.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, it's funny every time.
Hey, a heal's a heal, even if it doesn't help.
Well, apparently you have a heal that actually doesn't help.
Only if he does it to himself and the dice are not on his side.
Yeah, no, but I am 90% sure I didn't actually have to damage myself for that.
Also, another thing of like Jensen being the best healer. I'm a paladin, so I literally have lay on hands, and like I literally have built-in healing, and I'm not seen as the healer.
I have what 4, 10. I have 16 levels worth of cure wounds.
16.
Oh,
What do
fair
I
enough.
have?
Plus, I can re-roll a dice.
yeah, I have I can do a total of like 2d8 plus 2d6s.
Oh yeah, if everyone's doing healing, by the way, I should say my sorcerer ability that I got was whenever anyone within 5 feet of me rolls die to heal, I can use a sorcery point to re-roll that die.
Oh, cool.
To re-roll any number of those dice once.
Yeah, no, I'll probably leave the healing to Zyrok.
Yeah, it's like,
However,
so I've got a total of 8 spells, 4 of which are just from my paladin thing. The 4 that I've picked though have bless, cure wounds, detect magic, and lesser restoration.
Yeah.
Like-
Restoration's good. Restoration's.
No, I'll let you do the
Yeah.
healing. I will assist by creating like cherry blossoms that'll float on them. Basically, it's a sensory effect. I don't know what else to do. Okay.
And I have 8, technically 10, if I used everything, levels for cure wounds.
So I'm the real healer.
I also have a flat 30 though, alright? Fuck you. Look, cure wounds are what, a d8 plus spellcasting modifier.
I realized one of my curses literally puts people in bloated agony. I
Yes.
can make them feel bloated. And if they try to attack more than once, they take necrotic damage. It's great. So, yeah. I look forward to the conversation with Ezekiel's mother. It's not going to go anywhere, but it'll be fun.
I'm back.
It's not going to go the way you think, Ruben.
So who's gonna die first, says Darian. Well, 3 of them already died. Who's gonna die again?
Don't worry, I usually die once a session.
Probably Rune.
I'm built to not die anymore.
Not
I
if
think I'm a
Jensen the
person.
healer is there to save her. I'll just change out all my spells. I don't even know what other ones I can get, but I'm getting rid of cure wounds. But
You're using
Yeah, you don't
spell
need
slots to
cure
heal? You're a really shitty paladin. Everyone knows it's only smite.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
smart.
it's like
Yeah.
fucking warlocks.
oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm making a pretty poor warlock. I haven't been using Eldritch Blast. Do you think if I aim it right, it could heal?
Don't worry, if I use Eldritch Blast, I roll
No.
that once.
Yep. You
It's
turned
not
your
allowed.
you turned your imp into a fucking what was it? Weasel thing?
Oh,
It's a
Barret?
lot.
Otter? Yeah, that's it.
Death
Look,
has
we got a
its
couple of
upsides.
holy people in the party. I don't think it'll go down well if I just have an imp.
You have no
Actually-
holy people.
Slight
Yeah.
question on that because I need to ask this
Well,
towards
in
AJ.
my eye, at least in Annex's eyes, freaking Sarah seems like a holy lady.
Technically speaking, because I'm trying to pass as a paladin, wouldn't I also be classified as holy?
So I'm not even a
Technically.
paladin anymore.
No, this is
yeah,
retro, so
no.
yeah.
no.
In that, I'm basically playing a barbarian who's a paladin.
Uh-huh.
Yes, the party thinks I'm a paladin. That's how it shall remain.
Okay.
The party
Okay.
thinks that, do they?
The total might be onto me.
Apparently.
The
Here,
Jakurva thinks that the party thinks he's a paladin.
Look,
It's
as
the
far as
case
they
Deco
need to be
believes you.
concerned, I'm a paladin.
Yeah, exactly. You think that they think you're a paladin. That's exactly what you need to think.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if the party actually thinks you're a paladin or not. It's just that you need to
No,
think.
no, it's what I need to think.
Yeah, you just need to think that they think that you're a paladin.
That's fine. Out of character, everyone fucking knows anyway. So, everyone's back?
And before
Yeah.
fucking Darian jumps in, is like, "You're a what?"
AJ, I have a question.
Yes,
Please tell me that there's some rules for Goat Ball.
there are rules for Goat Ball.
Oh, yes, we're playing Goat Ball. I don't care what
Oh,
anyone
God.
says. We're playing Goat Ball.
Yeah, no, I'm clearly a
I'm-
rogue, Darian.
I'm ready for Rune to just actually get straight up knocked out by Goat Ball.
You got knocked the fuck out.
No, not the fuck out.
You know what? I've got enough stealth. I could actually pass as a rogue if I tried. As a Jakuvra.
I do not.
Yeah.
Darian said death has its upside, gives you a chance to play other characters you dream up. Yeah, if you ever want to play a character like in short bursts, I think I want to run a Tomb of Annihilation game.
Oh no.
And that's just a way for you to like think up a bunch of characters and see how they play for a little bit before committing.
So theoretically, AJ,
Mhm.
I could do that other idea I wanted to do, where I play a animal that's a druid who turns into humans.
Just make it Konya dumps.
I'm saying I want to do that at some point,
Yeah.
just to play random classes. I'll have no control over the classes, but it'd be an interesting way to play a druid. You're an animal instead.
It would be an interesting way to play druid.
It's just like Karma's secret that no one ever found out.
Yeah.
Karma was clearly a cat.
Meow. Meow.
Can I just say the roll call thing? I got really confused because I thought it was to roll a die, so I was like looking for like what I'm supposed to be rolling. I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm just an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I remembered this feature last week, and it's really good to see who's ready.
Yeah, no, I put X's on them. Oh shit, I fucked up this week. There we go.
But yeah, Echoes is gonna be fun. We're on a fun part of Echoes. Fun for me and Darian. Horrible for everyone else.
Yeah,
I love last section.
Echoes is going great.
Last week was very good roleplay. I wish I'd heard a bunch. I think I missed out on Mims, Jakurva's, and
I said at the
I'll give
start of I said at the start of next Echo session I'll actually explain to
yeah.
Jeremy and Mim's character more about my story.
Yeah.
I don't want the entire party to know that. That was what I said.
Yeah, Darian's written 5 pages of notes, and I've looked over them.
It wasn't because I hate the people we're playing with. It more has to do with how I'm playing Jakubra. So
No, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but tomorrow we're gonna do some more writing, hopefully, before I
trust
do,
has to be earned.
before I do a game. Oh, sorry, I told, because this is relevant to me, for Jeremy. So Dimitri was like, yeah, I need to borrow the new Castle Strahd stuff. And I was like, okay. And I said, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do the Taroka deck, right?
Yes.
Because I want to be the first one to fucking touch those cards. So I'll do the
Yeah.
Taroka deck. I won't find out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm playing the cards first because fuck that. And Dimitri's like, oh, I already had places where they can be, but if you're gonna choose your own fate for the group, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm choosing the fate for the group.
Yeah.
No one touches my cards. I'm not gonna be the last one to touch my cool new cards. That's what I said
Of
to
course
him.
not.
But I'm ready for Strahd. Strahd.
I'm ready for Strahd again. Strahd 2.
For everyone who wasn't noticing, we fell out of a skyship in
Storm King's Thunder.
Thunder and landed in Barovia.
I'd like to point out that I called it before he said it was. I said, I swear to God, if we're in Barovia, and then he's like, you're in Barovia. I'm like,
Oh,
fuck.
are you using the new whatever it's called?
Hmm?
You using the new whatever it's called for Ravenloft?
No, that's
Van
not out yet.
Richten's guide.
I need
Oh,
a.
well,
Oh no,
when it comes
Jeremy's paid me. I can pre-order it. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Let us know how that goes, unless you actually plan to rerun Strahd. But
Oh well, the Van Richten's guide is literally. It's like another core book. It's just got a bunch of information. It's more monsters, new things to do. It also explains a lot more about Ravenloft, which I didn't know was not just Barovia. There's a whole bunch of shit that's not Barovia in Ravenloft.
that actually sounds fun.
So it's good to know. Let me log in.
Who am I missing?
Lockie, I'm assuming.
I'm here.
Why didn't you hit the roll call button, buddy?
The what button?
In
The,
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 game.
the circle.
In chat, the game chat.
What? The fuck?
It's a vote thing. So you can do votes, but I don't often use it for votes because we don't really be put in scenarios where you have to vote. But I use it for roll call so I know who's here so I can get off a break.
I've never seen this thing before.
Yeah, I know, I just started using it again.
I think we used it once in Curse of Strahd, and that was it.
It's
We
because
don't talk about that.
Curse of Strahd got to a point where everyone was just like,
We had to vote.
do a high level game with the original cast so we can bring back Daggerad. Fuck it. Yeah.
Technically
Well, fine.
speaking, you could actually, change up the ending there. I mean, a couple groups just went off to other places like Waterdeep, so.
Hmm?
There's plans to do a return to Barovia, both as a goof for Halloween this year, and also
Oh, that
as
would be fun.
a
Oh, yeah, I remember.
and also like a either a campaign set after. Well, technically this is set after the events of our Curse of Strahd game, but there's not really many overlaps between Icewind Dale and
What did the events of Waterdeep take place in regards to that timeline?
afterwards. Strahd came before. Strahd
Okay,
came
so
before
it actually
Waterdeep.
did make sense for me to have Karma and Nara and that end up there. Okay.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's some stuff planned. Don't worry. But we'll get
I
back
look
into
forward to
gaming.
Curse of Brad.
Curse of Broad is going to be fantastic. Yeah. Alright. As the group of you, as a logo, I'm going to quickly make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, because... No? Ogolai, yeah. As Ogolai finishes off this conversation, leading you to think about what you want to do, she heads over to the area where she said the injured person is, which is on the eastern path in that set of caves, which you know is a place for like the higher ups of the village. It's where they tend to sleep and stuff. They each have separate rooms for some of the people there, mainly like your battle master, your like the chief physician, etc. That's where all they sleep. The rest of you sleep in this open area here, upstairs. As you are left,
Just like a democracy.
as you're left downstairs, nearby the fire pit, what are you all going to do?
Well, I
Well,
believe Zyrok's our best healer, is he not?
So you said Jensen wrong.
Look, all I'm saying is, well, some of us can heal. Let's send in Zyrok, and I'll just come in and make cherry blossoms fall on them.
Alright, I'll go. Have a little look-see at the sick person.
I will follow in for that cherry blossom effect.
I will wait here, seeing as it's the higher up section. I have no business being there.
Rune will stay with Zekel.
You know,
Well,
chill.
we'll be back soon. And that's the plan.
Did
Okay.
Edgy die? Okay.
No, I'm just muted. So, Cesarek's going to.
Yeah, I'll go.
And what are the others doing?
They're just chilling.
Sure.
Just chilling near the fire.
I'm
Oh,
basically
that's
just
going.
I'm just following along, making him look like he has cherry blossoms falling as he walks.
Alright then. How do you know what cherry blossoms are?
I have studied a lot with the druids. The Emerald Enclave have, yeah, the Emerald Enclave taught me a lot, okay?
The Emerald Enclave watched free.
No.
They taught you all about the anime.
I love the anime.
We never made it clear what they put me through. They put me through a lot.
Strapped into a chair and made you watch anime.
It was better than prison.
Yeah,
That's
in
fair.
prison
Really?
they made you read the light novels instead of the manga.
Yeah, except it was written in fucking Dwarvish.
It was not Dwarvish, just not a sexy language.
I don't know. We just seem to have something against dwarves in this campaign. Which way are we walking?
East, the eastern path.
Okay.
As you travel through the different sides, you see as you get to the northernmost area, the northernmost bedroom-esque thing, you see that there's a soldier who seems to be bandaging what looks like to be an eagle aracocra.
Alright, I'll...
Is it really? What's that in reference to, Darry? My bad. I'm doing like 5 things at once, as a DM tend to be.
Okay, so I'll head in. Is it cramped in there with the people, or is it...
No, there's enough room for you to do stuff in.
Hey. I'll just hug the wall so I'm out of the way.
Okay, I'll come in and be like, was it... Wait, Nala told us about? Was it the other...
Is anime really
Old
better?
Goat, I believe, told us.
Anime is not really better than prison there. Yes, there's enough people there. There's enough room for you to function.
Yeah.
As
That
you
way.
go and sit down, you see as not Lala, Olagai, the one you talked to, or Ergalai, the one you talked to before, the elderly woman. She sits near the cave entrance and she says, "Sikikri here," as she points to the Arakocra, was flying around and got caught in the blizzard, and some of our hunters, Zico's father actually, came and saved her. Brought her back here, healed her wounds. Now, most of it's okay, but we can't really get her wings set correctly. They're too delicate for us to maneuver like we would our bones, which we think magical healing would be a better way to fix them.
Can I go and can I do a medicine check to see how badly
Yeah.
like hurt they are in that? Not terrible.
In anime, just to bring back on, in prison, they make you watch fucking dubbed. I'm kidding, I like dubbed.
I was gonna say I can like only watch dubbed. I can't keep up with subbed. I'm not
Yeah, no, I'm
scared enough.
exactly the same. I
No,
can't read
it's-
freaking subtitles quick enough.
You'll need to try harder.
I choose not to.
Yeah, that's me. Darius says he's leaving. Bye. Go watch
See you, man.
anime.
I'll see you next Friday.
Barbarian.
Alright, you roll your medicine check, which is a 15. You can determine that it is quite broken. It's good that they didn't try and set it themselves. You don't know how much more wounded it could be. It is preventing her from flying. It's one of the core wing bones that she's broken. So it's preventing her from leaving.
Can I get an idea of like how much healing I would have to put in?
In technical layman's terms, you need to put about 10 points of magical healing into her.
I'll go right ahead and put I'll top her out at a good 10 points of my lay on hands. Softly go up and
15.
we'll see how the 10 goes, and then if they're still hurt, maybe we'll go a little further, right? But I'm not a free medical center here. This
Dump
is America.
all of them in there.
You
Dump all
gotta
30.
you gotta pay.
As you place your hands on the broken area softly, she winces a little. You begin then stretching the muscles as light is enveloping your hands. This bluish energy that has hints of the sea is coming forth as you're stretching and moving the bones back into place alongside your magical touch, eventually finding them as they reconnect and heal up, sealing the broken areas. You see as Sikikri moves her wings after you finish. You lift your hands up, you're like, well done. And she stretches out her wings, lets them extend and flow out, and put them back in and over again. And eventually she gets the hang of it, and is like, thank you very much. And she hugs you. She goes and thanks you, and then goes over to Olagai and is like, Mistress of the Wormdung, may I please depart now? I feel better, I must get home. And Olagai's like, leave, young one. Go home, rest, and be careful next time. And she bows, and she excitedly runs up to the top area where the stairs lead into the arena, and jumps and begins flying her way through the mountain range.
You made someone's day better, Zyrek.
Well, slightly second. Head back to the group.
Okay. What's the group been doing while they were doing that? It's probably taking them maybe 5 to 10 minutes with explanations and things.
I personally would be just sitting trying to, I suppose for lack of a better term, meditate on the fact that all these changes are happening to my body, and control was a big thing, so just contemplating the changes.
Seagull's going through second puberty.
Mm-hmm.
He's growing up.
He's becoming a big boy.
Half chicken man, I think is the correct term.
I'm sure he
He's
could
made
kick your ass, Zyrek.
Probably, but
We discussed this.
Well, I'm gonna go. I kind of want to go study the little things we met on the way in. So, if anything's needed, I'll be out there for the time being. I assume we're resting here the night.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, I'll be back in later for whatever we decide to do. I'm going to chill with the chewingers. I don't know what. I assume they're back down here.
Oh, they followed you. They're they're hiding up on they're hiding underneath one of the bedrolls at the top there, like peering down at the lot of you.
Oh. Either way, I head out because I want to go look at the bones too. But
Okay.
if they follow me out, they follow me out. If they don't, either way, I'm with my badger. I assume it's just on my shoulder or something now. Or following. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, if nobody's doing anything else after I'm done, I'll stand up, very eager towards the group. Have any of you, ever played Goat Ball?
No.
No.
Heard of it?
It's this game that we play, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Would any of you be interested?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
Sure, why not?
We head towards the goat ball court.
Alright, you make your way to the goat ball court. You see a group of 4 Goliaths already. They're playing 2v2, which is not the full squad, but it's enough for training. Let me see if I've actually...
I'm assuming it's where all those stones are up to the right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not an actual goat as a ball. I thought we were gonna have fun.
The boat's made out of goat hide.
Yeah, I know, but it'd be so much more interesting if it was a live goat.
Would it?
I'm pretty
have-
sure.
We can go back and get one.
I know, that's
No,
what I was
we're not
thinking.
using emergency food.
Still think rations would have been a better name.
It's emergency food, so it's EF for sure. AK, we can just call it Effie.
Effie.
Little Effie.
So, as you enter, you asked to play around. The Goliaths agree to play. They don't really want to do anything, like there's no money or any bet on it, they just want to play for the fun of sport.
Bryn looks very, very concerned.
Basically, they explain is that 2 teams of 4 players stand on these 1-foot pillars, and their goal is to throw the balls at one another, and to and whoever gets them all knocked off at once is the winner for the round, and they play for 3 rounds.
Yeah, this is strength based.
So it's pretty much, it's dodgeball on the, but you have to stay on the pillars.
The goal is to dodge the ball.
Alright guys, 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, dip, dive,
Dip,
duck, and dodge.
Dive, dodge, and dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. You said dodge twice. What?
That sounds fun, dude.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Oh god, no.
Interesting strategy, Carton. Let's see if it plays out. The best character in that movie is that, is that
I
guy.
fucking love him.
Alright, let's play.
Yeah.
Who's playing goat ball?
I'm playing.
I
Hell
think
yeah.
us 4. So
Yeah.
4v4. Can we do that or?
It's literally just those 4 there, unless someone bothered to come find me studying dragon bones.
I mean, you probably see us. You're just like down a bit from us.
Yeah, but I imagine I'm really like looking at these bones carefully and like noting down, like trying to figure out the
I'm
age and such.
imagining that I don't want to play fucking goat balls. That's fine. It's not a dig at Sam. It's just the vibe I'm getting. Just like, I'm just imagining.
I never said that.
Yeah.
Like out of the peripheral vision, they're walking. You're like, please don't fucking ask me. Just please, fucking don't.
I'm gonna go study these dragon bones. Fucking.
Dives into the dragon's skull to hide when he sees us coming
Done.
along.
I'm in the skull. Literally inside the skull, just looking at its inside.
Skull.
What's the inside of the skull look like, AJ?
The inside of a dragon skull. Who would have thought?
Fair enough.
Oh,
No
interesting.
way.
Looks like bones.
I'll head up at some point. As I said, I do want to actually interact with a few of the other Goliaths, but
That's fine.
I'll head up after they've finished playing.
It was just
You know,
after
see-
It's
see how
been
this plays out.
destroyed.
good luck.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
I don't like that they're enemies.
Big ol' rock boys.
Man, they're really like they're intimidating. Holy fuck! Look at that face.
Guys, I'm like 5 foot, and I have
Question.
-2 to strength.
AJ, am I average size, below size amongst these other Goliaths? Am I like the runt or?
7'5". I think you're. Let me quickly have a look. I think you're either above average or middle of the pack. That's you're not small for a Goliath. I just need to double check exactly. Size 7 and 8. Yeah, you're middle of the pack. You're average Joe when it comes to Goliaths.
Ah, yes.
These people are not exceeding that either. But yeah. just need to ask a question from someone real quick. So position yourselves on from in that lower half of rocks where you want to be.
I want this one.
Tanks up front, casters at the back.
Perfect.
Okay.
I like to use Divine Smite on the ball.
I would like to rage.
I would like to jump off the podium and suddenly
Oh.
strike someone.
You just fucking punch them, stun them, and push them off.
I win.
Let me just do. Oh, sorry, roll initiative. That's fine. I'll get you guys to roll initiative then.
Oh hell yeah!
Hey! I didn't get a terrible one.
Finally over a 10.
I assume I'm good.
No, you're gonna be
No, you-
throwing
you-
fire from down there.
You also need to. No. Get out of here. As they throw the ball up in the air, they flip a coin, they flip a gold coin. Your team calls heads, and you get. Hang on a second. As long as you call heads and you get the start off the ball gets thrown to Rune. Basically, you're just told to throw a ball at someone and try your best. You can use either strength, athletics, or dexterity, acrobatics.
I can use acrobatics. Yes.
Cool.
Thank God it's not just strength based. I'm gonna yeet that at the person in the front and the left.
Alright, you throw the ball at the person in the front of the left. And then it's not his turn. But let's roll. It's his beast's turn. So which one are you? Number 12. Okay, that's
Fuck, I should have brought Sana. Could have got some big old rock boy dust.
You would have then had to fight me.
Yeah, well.
He then grabs the ball. He grabs the ball. You sort of teeter him off. You sort of teeter him. He doesn't get off the edge, but he seems to catch the ball. Next up, we've got. He throws it over at Zekel. Zekel, you can make an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Well, wonder which one that's gonna be.
You launch the ball. Where are you aiming it at?
I'll aim it at the back. Hang on, they don't have names. That one doesn't have a name. Two of them don't have names.
If you hover over them, they've got a little number now next to the on the top right.
You have to like really
It's
zoom in to
so
see it.
tiny, yeah. You have to like zoom in so
Yeah,
much.
the back two don't have numbers. The bottom
back-
two are
back-
2 and 12. The back two
The
have
back one
nothing.
is 1, the middle one is 5.
Have
Bottom.
uses that then. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
go 1. What'll do? I don't see the 1, but
You're gonna throw it one? Okay, Ron is going to catch the ball. You push him, you throw the ball with a little more force than he's expecting. He seems to rock back a bit. He's using that momentum for going back to pivot frontwards towards Zyrek.
Yeah.
Zyrek, roll your athletics or...
Oh, nice.
Let's send it.
You catch it, you catch the ball, you transition that energy as you bring it around the body to your hand, seamlessly change it, throw it in your dominant hand, pivot right back at.
I guess I'll go front right because he hasn't been hit yet.
Okay, you throw it at 12.
Yes, 12.
12 goes in for the catch. He catches it again. You're throwing him harder at him, and they're wobbling. Throws it at Jensen.
Come on, Jetson.
What do I make? Strength or
Strength
dexterity?
or acrobatics check. Athletics.
Acrobatics or athletics? Oh.
As it collides into you, you hold on. As you, it's like getting a sucker punch in the chest. You grab onto it. You quickly like teeter back a bit, and then you just piff the ball rather weakly towards the last Goliath.
Can I pass it to one of the people at the front, or do I have to throw it?
No one seems to have passed it between the group. There seems to be an exchange between both sides,
Okay.
more than passing it to people. No one's. If you try to do it, no one's gonna say anything. But you don't know how they're gonna respond. They haven't there doesn't seem to be an established rule about that you've heard of.
All right, I'll pass it to Zarek, right next to me.
Right, Zarek, roll the last one. Okay.
Oh.
You get the pass to pass from Jensen. You throw it back to the last one. Last one goes in for the catch and succeeds. Now let me do some math. As the last one gets thrown, you throw it into number 2, and as you do, Rock Boy number 1, seeming the wind is taken out of him from the last throw, he steps a bit off to the side and falls onto the ground, out, leaving it just with the 3 people on their side. Number 2
Oh boy.
begins the second round, throws the ball towards Jensen.
Eliminate the weakest link.
Alright, Jensen.
Can I like mirror image or shield or anything to increase my like? Are we? Do you have to catch it or?
Do you have guidance or alter self?
I have guidance, yeah.
You can guidance yourself to throw better and catch better, but you can't really use mirror image to trick them.
We're just having a friendly game. There's no bet. I want to fucking win this. I'm gonna use all my spells. Oh no. Oh.
The ball gets thrown at you with very much force. You quickly, as you see it coming towards you, you press, you touch your body a little bit. You start glowing with the guidance. You, instead of catching the ball, you sort of put the X above your hands. It bounces off your hands and reflects up in the air. To which probably Zarok is closest, goes in for the smackdown like in volleyball. We don't really need initiative, but I thought it'd be easy to track. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, Zarok, go for your athletics check. Ball. You smash the ball into who you're aiming for out of the 3 left.
I guess I'll go for 12 again.
Go for
The front.
12. I need them on the commentary, I just don't need them in initiative order, to say. As you do it, you slam it into him. It seems to hit him in the head, and before the round can even fully go, everyone getting a shot, he just gets knocked off. As you slam it into it, he's not looking, he's like trying to look at some people in the crowd as you push him off into the ground.
The crowd, you mean Ardax off at the dragon?
Rockboy 2 picks up the ball and is now down to 2v4. This is again, he's gonna throw it at the weak link, he's gonna throw it at Jensen.
I am not the weak link.
You're the scrawniest out of everyone. Well, Rune's also scrawny, but...
She's dead.
What the fuck are your rolls? My god. A 6, an 8, and a 6.
What are your rolls at this physical thing, wizard? God.
Yeah, like what the well no, it's not even that though. Like it's +1 only, but still his actual rolls are so bad.
As he throws the ball, Jensen's like, yeah, take that, and then another ball comes to his face, and he quickly does it again. This time it doesn't go as high, and like you catch it in the end, but you're still throwing back a little bit. You're not off the rock yet, but it's the ball's in your hands now.
Alright,
You just got your shit rocked.
Yeah, I was gonna take a minute and just kind of catch my breath. I'll try throw it to. I'll feel myself this time. I'm gonna try and throw it at the guy in front of me.
Alright.
You just gotta believe.
We
Two?
believe in you.
Throw him back at 2. He threw it at you.
I guess.
Hey! You know, it was the weird moan. 19, that's pretty good.
Alright, as you throw it back at him, he seems to take it quite well. He's surprised at the force you throw it back at him, and he like sort of like isn't prepared to jump off, but realizes what he's playing, and like deflects the ball up and like redirects it towards Eagle. Seagull?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I had someone come into my room. My apologies. What am I doing?
It's your
Throwing
turn.
it?
Yeah, throw
Ah.
athletics.
Going to. Okay. Well, clearly I'm going to do athletics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Who are you aiming at?
Number 12.
As you do that, you throw the ball. 12 goes in for. Oh, okay. Yep. Makes sense. Alright, 12 goes for his throat.
I thought 12 got knocked off.
Yeah.
12 was not knocked off. 5 was knocked off. I just put the wrong one off.
Okay.
No, before, not just then, but before I thought.
No, I meant 12 was meant to stay on. 5 was meant to fall.
Oh, okay.
Unless, let me have a look. Who rolled in that one?
Okay.
Doesn't honestly matter, but if you're gonna fight me on this.
Oh no, I thought someone else just got knocked off, so there was
12
3
fell
down.
off, 5 was off. No, 3. No.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought, because before there was 2 knocked off. I thought one just got knocked off then, and you put one off and then put one back on.
No,
And I was
it
confused.
It was 2v2. It was 2v2.
Yeah, okay.
Right. You throw it back at 5 now. 5 bounces the ball back, catches it. But as you do it, you put more momentum into it, and he gets knocked off as well, leaving it to 3v1. 4v1. 2 is not stupid by any mean. So he's going to surrender the point to you.
Well. Nice, good job, guys.
It went better than I expected.
Got the W.
Alright.
So is that round 1?
Yeah, that's 1 point.
Okay, I see.
You can put yourself in better position. You can put yourself in different rocks if you want. As they take 5 minutes to. No, you do, because they take 5 minutes to switch sides.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm on this one.
Rune tag out.
This one.
Rune, you're up the front now.
I need to catch my breath.
Alright.
Now we've got meat shields for gents.
One second. Okay.
No, you see, we have the advantage now because the sun's behind us.
I'm just gonna quickly put all the initiatives to 1 and 2.
Yeah, that seems
So
about right for me.
So I can just have you see oil view in one spot. Alright, they lost it, they get to start off. It starts off with big ol' rock boy 12. Who he is chilling right at the front and is gonna aim for Rune. Throws the ball. Rune, you can try and do something back.
Oh my god.
Oh, I
Wait,
mean,
inspiration! Can I use my inspiration?
If you want to.
that's much better. I will not lose, damn it.
I like that you rolled in that one and still rolled higher than Jensen on the majority of his rolls with guidance.
You throw the ball back, yeah? Who are you throwing it at?
I'll throw it right back at the beach and just threw it at me.
Okay. Alright. Seems to catch it relatively well, and then he goes to goes to pass to someone behind him, and that person behind him throws it at Rune. Rune? You also catch it, but it also almost thrown off the edge, but you manage to save yourself.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Throw it at the front right guy.
Okay.
Number 12.
Again?
Oh
Just
wait, isn't
back
it the
and
dude
forth.
directly in front of me that threw it?
No?
No, 12.
Oh, okay, then I'll throw it at the dude to the front left.
Okay. Number 2. 2 catches it. He's annoyed that this is just between the two of them. He's gonna try and aim long, try and hit Jensen in the back.
Come on!
What are you doing, Jensen?
I guess I'm catching, right?
Yeah?
He casts Fireball.
You catch the ball with relative ease. It seems to have no energy as it's flying through the air. It seems to slow down a lot, and you just catch it in your hands.
Yeah, I do what I did last round and pass it up to Zekel.
Okay. You chuck it to Zekel.
I'm gonna smack the shit out of it.
Alright.
Oh. See, I really want to rage. Like, I really want to rage. But I won't. I should have raged.
Oh no.
Okay.
What happens, God?
Who are you throwing it at?
I'll throw it at the back one. I don't have the back 2 numbers,
Okay,
so whatever the
back 2 numbers.
furthest back one is.
Number 5.
Really, Kiss? Don't bug the cat, she's trying to sleep.
As you throw it weakly, you almost stumble off your rock. You quickly grab a hold of yourself as you throw the ball. He seems to catch it in one hand. As you're standing there, almost falling off, he throws it right back at you. Make this next one with disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I want to rage so bad. I don't know if that's cheating. I can't
You
hide
rage,
my
then all
rage either.
4 of them rage, and there's a whole thing.
That's not bad. I dropped a
Oh,
20.
you dropped 20.
As you... So you're raging? Or...
No,
No,
that's
okay.
why it was with disadvantage.
So you hit it, you catch the ball, it doesn't knock you off as you stumble back into probable probable. You stand back ready to throw the ball again.
I'm gonna peg it at this back motherfucker again. Come on, natural 1. Hell yeah. Natural 1. It's all about the fake out.
Got that reverse psychology. Yeah.
So who are you throwing it at?
The
Number
back one, the one
5.
with- I just had this altercation with.
Okay, throw it back at 5. 5 catches the ball. As it's distracting, throws it at Zyro, because watching this exchange going back and forth like tennis is just going to throw it at people who are not paying attention. Throws it at Zyrok. As Zyra catches the ball, what's Zyra going to do?
I guess I'll throw it at 2, because I think yeah, why not? He's close to me, kind of. Do I have to roll another one?
No. So which one is
No.
it?
Number 2, front, left.
Okay. Number 2 catches the ball with relative ease, doesn't have any force into it, seems to have matched the energy you've thrown it at, and is going to throw it at Rune. You catch it the same. You throw as he's throwing it. You expend the same amount of energy apparently, and you catch the ball.
Yeah, which one almost knocked Seagull off?
Sequel almost
back one.
knocked himself off.
Yeah, well.
He was throwing it at
He
5
was
and 5
throwing
was
it at
throwing it at
5.
him. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I'll throw it at the same person.
Okay. Throw it back at him. He then. You throw it with relative strength. He catches it. He almost falls off, but like again, he saves himself. You're not throwing it with the energy he has. He notices no one's thrown it at Jensen for a while. Chucks it at him. He goes long.
The Glads have something against normal boys.
You know those, like, I know it's not a nat 20, but it's still like, you know those gifs you see of baseball players doing like god things?
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's like the ball. It's like that one where the pitcher throws the ball, he gets hit, and the pitcher catches it again.
Yeah.
You sort of just you're looking away at the crowd, you're looking at what Ardax is doing, you're seeing that she's climbing in the hole and the ball's throwing out. You just pull your hand out and grab it, turn back.
I was literally just thinking that. Man, our rolls the last 5 have been damn.
Throw it at the guy that's closest on the right.
Okay.
Number 12.
Alright, number 12. Catches the ball with the same amount of power you throw it at. As you do that, it is, throws it back at Rune.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Rune catches it. Where are you sending it?
Back right, dude.
Okay.
I like how we keep throwing it at different people. I'm pretty sure we just focused one, they would get knocked off.
As Rune sends it back at him, he gets knocked off.
Alright, never mind, alright, just throw it at whoever.
So who did you throw it at, Mim?
Dude in the back right. So.
Okay.
Number 1.
Yeah, that one.
Number 1 gets knocked off. They set up for the next round. We'll go back to the traditional rolls. This one was a bit too long-winded. So basically, all of you just roll athletics or acrobatics of your choice once for the round, as the ball gets passed back and forth between the lot of you, just to speed this up, so we're not spending like an hour or so on this.
No. Man. Jensen. Good man.
Unluckily, Jensen seems to be the weakest link, as the three of them, throwing with a lot more vigor, knock Jensen off of his perch. After the ball gets thrown around for a good solid 5 minutes, and Jensen gets knocked off.
Quick, Jensen, stop guided for someone else.
You lost the round, so we'll start off again. You three roll your checks.
Oh god, another
Oh,
fucking
20.
6! Oh, nice. Oh no.
As Rune throws a ball with critical hit, she throws it at Rockboy 2. Rockboy 2 catches it and throws it back with the same amount of intensity. which unfortunately sends a shockwave, knocks one of his fellow competitors off the rock as he throws it back as hard as he can towards Zekel, who catches it right before falling off. The other one falls off, calling it that it's their loss, and Zekel doesn't have to. Zekel gets to stay on his rock.
Oh hell yeah, my rock.
Going to the last round.
I would like to rage,
Okay.
and when I rage, the tail appears and coils around the stone pillar that I'm on.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tick off one of those boys, and by effect.
I want to rage, but I want it to be.
Oh, oh, that is some bullshit. I'd like to point that out. This is what I get for cheating.
Yeah. I want to rage, but I want it to be like sneaky, gross tail wraps around a rock.
No, it wasn't even sneaky. It was about like leverage in order to like counter. Yeah, no. Well, I was being sneaky.
Yeah.
I throw myself instead of the ball.
As you do, your tail slips and you slide off the rock as you throw your ball last, and you're off the court.
No.
Well,
It's down to us.
Who's gonna start out of you two, just narratively?
I'll start it.
Oh god.
That's my... Oh, another decent one.
You throw it hard to Rockboy. Rockboy 12. Rockboy 12 serves it to. Rockboy 12 serves it to Rune, who throws it back to the other one, who she knocks off in the last exchange,
Ha.
leaving only one round left.
It's the line of breakdown. Ooh.
As the ball gets thrown to Rune, Rune catches it, throws it back, he catches it, throws it at Zarok. Zarok sends a little bit of energy its way and throws him off the edge. And in the best of three, you guys win the full match.
Hell
Yeah!
Rune goes to high five Zyra.
Hell yeah. High five.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a good high five!
Nice.
Honestly, it was either it was gonna be good or I was gonna fall off and like face plant into the snow. Nice to know that my nat 20s have been useful today for my high five and for throwing a ball and catching a ball.
Okay. Yeah. Guys did well.
Yeah, I fully expected this to be entirely strength-based and I was gonna get ruined.
I feel like majority of the time if there's like a strength, you can also use dex. There's some way around it.
Sometimes.
Sometime. Is Ardex just still messing with the bones?
Yeah,
or
what's
is she
Ardex
stopped
doing?
to go talk to people?
Adex is in the head trying to make it a puppet.
At this point, I've probably honestly found a way to bury under the snow down here. In my attempts to explore it, I've buried myself slightly.
we pulling a
Surprised
sauna.
Ardex isn't having a stern.
My badger is probably what you can see. It's probably just standing there, like nearby on a bone or something. So, yeah, that's how my research is going.
Okay.
I haven't went back in yet. I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna bury myself in snow.
Of course, like you do.
See how it feels to be summer.
Yeah. Look, we do it to him all the time. It's about time I learn.
Ah, the serenity.
Alrighty.
Okay.
What do you want, Kiss?
Well, I'm out of ideas.
This is not my home. I'm very concerned and scared, so Runa's just sticking close to Zekel.
The guys that we beat, do they look like mad about it, or are they good sports? Just
Yeah,
like
they're good sports.
have-
They had a fun, fair competition. They all,
No, you're gonna get stabbed.
They all bow and they nod.
Just making sure that they weren't like the sort of people that's like they lose and then they go off and they're like shitting about it all day. Sort of. I was like, alright.
My tribe isn't full of shitty people. Surprise.
Well, you know.
They're gonna kidnap one of us in the middle of the night because we're small and they're big.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay.
I'll head back to the main chamber and just chill in there for the rest of the night.
All good.
Yeah.
nice.
Didn't matter what I rolled there.
Perfect camouflage. Just put snow onto her own face, but nothing else.
Honestly, it was purely just to see what I actually get.
Oh, read it.
Okay. You all take a long rest, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Runa's still sticking as humanly possible close to Zekel.
Yeah, I was mostly just waiting until the evening properly approached to see how they how this tribe, whatever they are,
Yeah.
clan. I was kind of just waiting to see what their like night habits are like.
You see that they all gather into the meeting room down, the eating room down below. They all sit together and chow down, and have some good food and good fun. You see that special members of the clan make their way to the bedrooms, and the rest all lay out some more bedrolls in the main hall and fall asleep towards the night. They all seem to be a lot of company. So, is it just long rest time, or?
Yeah.
What would you say the time is roughly?
It's at any point in the evening. It's dark.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, no, I'll do this now. I'm gonna go sort of approach Zekel's, the one who he sort of introduced as his mother.
Oh, you go approach Marla.
Did we? I was gonna say, did we actually get her name properly?
Yes.
Yeah, Nala, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Nala, wasn't it?
Yes, you
I just go by Ardax.
Oh, that's, yes.
I was just kind of curious about something.
Hmm.
Was your Zekel over there?
Mm-hmm.
Was he always someone who reacted I kind of want to say in a way sort of sad after getting scolded?
Sequel, were you?
For the most part, no. Wasn't a whole heap of scolding going on here. It's a small, tight-knit family. There's not much to get up to get scolded for.
Hey, it was worth asking, to be fair.
But whenever he was scolded,
There was not much situations in where he got in trouble in order to get scolded. When he did, he wasn't very depressive or aggressive or wanting to avoid people. He took his punishments well and learned from them.
Well, he seems to be a nice, well, I guess well-grown man at this point.
No, he's grown a lot stronger since I've last seen him.
There was once or twice I had to tell him off, but that's... Well, usually it's just things that couldn't be avoided. Oh, did he actually mention it was a ship? Or did he just mention tentacles?
I said squid thing.
The squid thing he was referring to, from what we could tell, it was some sort of alien-like thing. But either way, it looked like a transport vessel.
Mm-hmm.
While we were on there, he, from what we can tell, was sort of almost forced to attack one of us, and I may have had to scold him a little after that, and I just kind of wondered if I should probably apologize to him for it.
He was forced to attack you? In what way?
It seems whatever we were fighting on there had some sort of hypnosis.
Okay. She sort of thinks about it for a moment and I cannot tell you to forgive him, as that is not my choice to make, it's yours. If I was in your situation and he and someone I knew attacked someone I cared about with no control whatsoever of the situation, I'd be more lenient in that personally, but to each their own. If you feel like what he did was unforgivable, regardless of his part in it, then continue to do what you're doing. If you feel bad for my son and you know that he would never have done it to begin with, then forgive him.
I think I forgave him a while ago. It's just feel like there's going to be a weird tension for a little bit.
If you don't think he knows that, then you might want to apologize then.
I'll do it probably first thing tomorrow. For the time being, I think I'm just going to probably rest against the wall near this fire.
Alright then, get some rest.
Well, have a good night.
She bows and she makes her way to her sleeping room.
Hey, and I'm going to get comfortable against a wall. In this corner. Sort of this curve.
Everyone else.
The only thing about it, I probably sleep like a lizard.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, as you all, the rest for the next day, you all wake up relatively early as you do hear a bunch of noise as you see a group of hunters have returned with some goat and some other foods. Among them is Ezekiel, you recognize your father.
Hello, father.
Ezekiel, my boy, you're home. It is good to see you. As he goes in for a full bear hug.
Yes, I relent.
Relent?
Yes.
Why you
Does
relent?
he actually turn part bear for this bear hug?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
I think I was using the right words. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, no good. Yeah, he has a look at your. He has a look at you and he's like, "You've gotten taller and stronger, my boy."
But 12 months would do.
Have you been well?
Well, it can be, all things considered.
Just gonna roll insight. He sort of looks at you. He doesn't super know what you're thinking, but he does pick up that you either do you not want to talk to him, or do you just have...
No one wants to disappoint Dad.
Oh, okay. He has a look. He's like, after our breakfast, we shall talk. You can tell me of what you've done this last year.
Alright.
And he goes and sends off this buck that he's caught towards the base of one of the mountains, and the rest hand in their food. He goes off for maybe about 20-30 minutes to bathe and comes back and takes you to a private area for you to discuss with him what you've done. And that's up to you if you want to do a scene or not, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when I left, I was attacked by a pack of dire wolves. Closer down the base of the mountain towards the 10 trails.
Nasty. If you're not careful, they can hurt. Are you alright?
I'm alright now, but I was just disappointed in myself, and that's why it took so long to return.
As I'm assuming your mother said to you, that you chose a difficult trial. Not everyone chooses to go for the full 6. And some who do not return. And returning is not a bad thing. Coming home and checking in every once in a while is good. You can always proceed with the other ceremony that we do for coming of age, and then use this as a goal to achieve. But this is entirely up to you. As long as you're alive, then there is nothing to be ashamed about. You have lived, and that is all that matters.
Thanks, Father. Well, with this trial, I'm halfway done.
That's good. Let me see what you have hunted.
Gotta show him what I've managed to acquire.
Ooh, a white moose. Interesting. They are. Go on.
Tracking it was very difficult.
Interesting.
Did you dare take the earring out?
And he just has a look at it. He's just like, was it anything special other than just being white? It's a very interesting decision. It might be trying to hide with its pelt, but I haven't seen any other moose or elk try and hide. He has a look at you, just trying to. He seems to just be a fan of talking a lot, and you sort of just notice and sit there with relative ease. But there's also this sense of uncomfortability about someone who likes to talk a lot when you're someone who doesn't really like to talk a lot.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the this is the exact exchange I have with my father. My father never shuts the fuck up.
And then he has a look at your crag cut drawer. He's like, there's a lot of these in the other mountains. Not many here, but it's very interesting that you fought a couple of these. And he basically makes a critique not a critique, he makes notes and stories and elaborates on a bunch of things each time he has a look at your things. And it takes a good hour and a half to finish the conversation before he sees that you're sort of uncomfortable with the whole thing and picks up on it a little bit too late, but still enough for him to get up. Like, now I think your mother would like to talk to me for a little bit, and he pats you on the shoulder. Come say goodbye once more when you're about to leave again.
I will. Thank you, Father.
Goes off and he goes off and talks to your mother for a bit. What's everyone else doing while this conversation's going on?
Runa's sitting in a corner with her back to the wall, looking very slightly concerned and awkward.
Okay.
Just watching the day go by, I guess.
Cool. Zarek? Rune? Zarek and Ardax?
Yeah. Just kind of chilling out, waiting to see what happens.
Okay. Ardax? Catching up in much later rest. Okay. Towards the end of the day, as it's approaching dusk, you see that there is a group of about 3 children who look to be around... Well, not children, 3 teenagers. Look like to be around 13 to 14 years old. And they each seem to have something. One's got a crocheted a little dragon doll that they made. One's got a teddy bear, one's got like a blanket. And the three of them walk into this eastern cave.
What's that about?
Is that to Zeke?
Zeke.
Directed to it. I'm not entirely sure, but if I was a betting man, which I'm absolutely not, I'd say they've taken one of the easier trials.
Is that like your trial that you took?
Sort of. My one is a bit longer because I have more to get. There was another one. I don't know the full details of the other one.
You know that this isn't like a secret thing, so if you wanted to take her in there, you could. But you know that this one is it's sort of like it's less of a physical, like there's less of a physical and mental burden, but it's still like a physical and mental challenge for anyone who wants to do this. But it's less than the one that you do, but it's maybe like relatively it's like half amount of the effort you put into it through like a single one single situation, but like half of this experience is thrown onto someone as they do this trial.
Yeah, mine's a lot more complicated, where the alternative is simpler, to say the least. They go out and acquire something for the experience instead of what I've got to go get.
Have you ever thought about just doing the simpler one and continuing with the others on the side?
I have. Was thinking about it on the journey up here, actually.
Well, do you think you could do it? Your family seems very kind and loving, so I'm sure nobody would think differently of you. I mean, you've already done so much. You got, what, half of your items that you need?
Yeah, but I think I would think differently of me. I'm halfway there.
That's understandable.
You notice that Ezekiel seems to be harder on himself than anybody else is.
Yeah.
Which might have something to do with the way he reacts when he gets scolded by Arvex.
Don't you dare.
Just saying.
No, I'm aware.
Rune just pats Eagle's arm, gives him a smile, and goes, "Well, I think you've done an incredible job."
Oh, what truly will be incredible is trying to get this other clan to play nice. But I suppose we will see.
It will be an interesting experience. I must admit, I'm slightly uncomfortable here, but that just comes down to my height.
Well, I think we'll be leaving tomorrow.
Aren't you slightly taller than me?
Barely. I'm like 0.1 foot taller than you.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be sad to go, or are you looking forward to leaving?
Genuinely, I don't know. But it's necessary.
We can always return another time if you wished.
Yeah, I'm always welcome home. And just sits there.
Brune just returns to silence, sitting with Eagle.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Just watching the people run by, I guess.
Okay.
At this point, I'm making sure my badge is fed.
Feed your badger. Sarek?
Do you feed him mushrooms?
I'm just enjoying the warmth of the fire in this cold place.
If they have mushrooms here, yes, I'll feed my badger mushrooms, but otherwise it's just sharing rations.
As you all rest up in this main room. You see, as it becomes nighter, there is some chanting and songs and all this stuff as this ritual goes on. Are any of you entering, or are you all just gonna sit?
It gets my curiosity enough to go look. Assuming they have no problem with people watching.
Oh, there seems to be a bunch of people watching.
Which room was it?
This next eastern room. Like the next eastern room with the two holes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stay at the back near a wall.
Ain't that west?
That's west, yes, but
fine, I'm sorry.
I figured what you meant.
Yeah, I'll
It's
go
west.
have a look at it. See what's going on.
You see the floor of this 15-foot high cavern bulges in the middle with a 5-foot diameter hole on either end of the unappraised part, making the ends of a tunnel. The exterior of the bulge has runes inscribed on every surface of it. As you see, at this point, there is an elderly male Goliath who is doing the chanting and stuff as he's sitting next to the bonfire, and he's placing temporary tattoos for the Goliath tribe all over their body, and they seem to have a paper doll that they've made. At the end of it, at the end of this chanting, all 4 of them move to the to the further away hole, the smaller entrance of the 2. And you see, as one by one, they present the doll to this Goliath, and the 3 of them, one by one, walk through the cavern. And I will. Things.
That's a few dice.
Just a few.
He's rolling for initiative.
As you see, as the first one walks through, it takes about 5 minutes, but as he crawls through the cavern, you see as he comes back, he entered like a little bright-faced, unknowing, a bit childish, but as he exits, he seems to have hardened a little, seems to have found some resolve, and looks honestly a little bit older, as if he aged after a few months, sort of deal. As he stands next to his family, who are hugging and congratulating him. The second one also does that, but the third, after about 5 minutes, doesn't come out, and then soon 5 becomes 10. At which point, the elderly man goes through the cave, comes out the same end that he entered, with looks like the boy unconscious, basically states is like, though Zuri has failed, he will try once more in the coming new moon. And he hands him over to his parents, and they give a bow. They're not upset or anything at it, or hurt. They're mainly making sure that Zuri's okay.
Does he look hurt, or is it just like...
No, he seems to just be asleep.
Okay.
What is going on down there?
Ologai, who's sort of sidled up next to you secretly, is like, would you like to find out?
Is that an offer or a threat?
It's an offer. Usually this trial is one for adolescents becoming adults in the eyes of our culture, but for outsiders it is becoming an ordinary member of our clan. You've looked after Azuko quite well, and to you and any of your friends who wish to participate, we will allow you to do so.
If...
Sure, I'll give it a go. Do I need a strip for it?
That would be best.
Alright. I
Do
take
your
the, like...
underwear.
Yeah, I strip down.
You take about the X amount
The
of time to take.
Yeah, however long it takes to take full, like, my...
Is it plate?
Plate.
Mithril armor.
I guess it wouldn't
It's
hurt.
a mithril chain, so it's, it doesn't take
Yeah.
that long. As you stand there naked. You at this point we ask you to, if you're part of our tribe, we ask you to hand us something that is a symbolic of your childhood. But for this, we will take your weapons. And she, as you've taken your stuff off, but she's grabbed them next to you. Is this is tradition. You will get these back at the end, regardless of what happens. But this is just for practice.
Yeah.
If you are requesting something, I do actually have something I could give you to.
Well, as long as
Hold on
it's significant to you in some way.
It is. There is a leaf I have carried for a very long time. It changes color with the seasons.
She holds the leaf then and is then this shall do. And do you have anything like this, or will your sword?
I go down and I pull out just what looks like a simple dagger. And I'll hand that over. This belonged to someone very close to me. I know a long time ago.
Beautiful.
At this point, it's well then, who will go first?
I will. Let's do it. I'll step up and I'll head into the hole.
As you crawl through the hole, you see as there's bioluminescent runes on the underside as they glow. They seem to be providing some sort of magical energy towards you, just little thuds of blasts that are assaulting sort of your mind, but not really attacking in sort of way. They're sort of just grazing up against your psyche, etc. I'm going to need you to make a DC 15 Constitution and Charisma saving throw. One of each.
Constitution.
Well, he's proficient in one of them.
He's actually got, doesn't he have the thing on for both? Or is next level?
Nah.
Okay.
Not yet.
As you get through, as you're walking through, while you're getting assaulted, some of these points, they start to actually fill you with visions and clues, and they make you more resolved as a person. They give you more edge, more honing of details on what you want to do, what you want to achieve in your life, etc. Allowing you to see what goals you think are the most necessary for you to become a stronger person. And as you do, you walk outside the cave, and you've got a new resolve on life. It's not different. He doesn't look older in any way. He looks more
Do I
determined.
look younger?
No. You look more ready to deal with things. You look ready to find what you're looking for, and you're ready to achieve a goal that you've set.
Yeah!
This is gonna be fun.
He's start flexing at everyone.
I then go next to the fire because I'm very cold.
As you see,
You get cold resistance.
Oh, I fucking wish.
As you see, both the Ola guy and the elderly man, Demolok, as they present your stuff back, you see as they're we now call you an honorary member of the Thunakalaga clan. And
Thank you.
They draw a tribal tattoo on your arm. It's not an actual one, a fake one. That's basically just you're considered one of us. In it's a mixture of soot and water, and it's sort of clumpy like paint, but it's nothing. It doesn't feel bad or anything.
Yeah.
Next is Ardex. I'm going to need
Same rolls.
Yep, a DC 15 Constitution and DC 15 Charisma.
I will use this my inspiration. Try again if you're fine with that.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
Again, at the same time, as you go through, you get these blasts of magic going through your psyche. They're going all over through your body, trying to. They seem to be assaulting you in a way that's not harmful, but a way that's overbearing, just to make you learn, sort of deal. And as you do, you get through. You find find that you no longer have such a disdain for your past of what you've done beforehand.
I'm really reminded of all the bloodlust.
You're not angry at what you were or sad at what you were. You're more understanding that this is what you were. It's not who you are now, and that is a good thing. You can learn, you can overcome this, and with that you can overcome anything that you set your mind to. And as you do, as you walk through with this sudden resolve and a little bit of your burden on your past has been, it's not gone, but
I know.
basically
I'm assuming I feel like I at least have a better idea of.
yeah.
I feel like it's a start to where I need to go.
Yeah.
Basically,
You feel better in your, we'll call it a rehabilitation, even though it's not really a rehabilitation sort of deal.
something like that.
As you do, they also put a tattoo on your scales of this fake tattoo of the symbol, and like, Dax, we allow you to become a member of the Thunalakalaga clan. An honorary member, and they bow to you.
I do have one small request, though. If I'm an honorary member, please refer to me by my actual name.
Mm-hmm.
It is Azada.
Azarda.
It's not something I share very often, but
Is that loud enough for someone for Rune to hear, or?
Or me?
Zyrok definitely. Rune already knew it. Rune's the only one that actually knew my name previously, so.
They give a bow, and then they refer to you as Azada. And they have a look at Rune, just sort of. They don't ask her straight. They just question if she wants to do this herself. Like they give that look of, "Do you want to go?"
Rune just looks very nervous and I just kind of like shakes her head and goes, I'm not good at this kind of stuff.
They give a nod. They give a small smile and a nod. And as you,
And they pick her up and throw her in the hole
do it anyway. I'm assuming the other two are not going into the room. Zeke will...
No, Ezekiel, knowing full well what's going on in the other room, chooses to not go in the other room.
Okay, and Jensen?
Oh, hey, it was Ezekiel.
Okay.
Oh, thank fuck.
With that, as the new moon passes on the outside, they all bow, and they put out the campfire here, and they all move into the other room. You all get dressed up, so you're warm again. But Ezekiel notices that these tattoos are visible for the most part, as long as you're not like. The patterns are in place that Ezekiel can see, and so can everyone. But as you all, is there anything that wants to be said there, or do we want to transition to the next day?
Ezekiel says nothing.
I figure it's best I talk to Zeke when we're back on the road.
As everyone begins their rest, you wake up the next day.
Well, I believe it's time that we set off.
Are you going to say your goodbyes?
Yes, I'll do my rounds, and then if everyone is ready to leave, we can go.
Sounds good.
Do my round saying goodbye to everyone.
As you say goodbye to your parents, they pat you on the back and they wish you well and do the parenty thing. As you come up to Alagai, and you say goodbye to her, she sort of grips your shoulders, and then it's a little like, oh, what's going on? She grips your shoulders and then she slaps you across the face. And as she says this, she looks at you deep into your eyes, like staring into your soul. Zuko, You will do well with this. You will complete this task you sent upon yourself. The only thing you need to now do is do it. The only person you have to prove this to is yourself. So do it.
Yes, other guy.
And she nods. And she lets you go. And then is more accommodating to your friends. Wishing you well.
Surprise, surprise.
As you see saying goodbye, she gives a hug to everyone who accepts the hug. And to whoever she does, she's just like, he wallows in his own defeats a lot. He spends time depressed for his failures. Make sure he puts that use into good things for himself and not wallowing.
Rune will not add.
He needs a bit of tough love.
What kind of tough love?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I will do my best to help him as he succeed at his goal. Maybe not as the way we have been, but hopefully as a friend to him.
She gives a soft smile and nods, and then I know he'll succeed. Now, off with you. And she, like, sort of dramatically is just like, now leave, goodbye, forever, go away.
Fuck off.
I assume Zekel's probably at the front.
Yeah, Zeke was sort of just chilling by the exit of the cave by himself awkwardly for a little bit. This is going on.
Actually, yeah, on our way out, I kind of want to just... Zekel, would it be alright if we talked, as we walked?
Of course, Ardax.
Tough love incoming.
Kicks him in the dick. Get
Not
back
that kind
to
of tough
work.
love, that's different. I think that's abuse.
Just the
Once everyone is ready to go, we can talk while we walk. Once we're away from here a little bit.
Okay.
As you begin your journey, 3 hours down, you make yourself back to Sana, and in the cave, nothing seems to have happened to your axe beaks.
Is Sana okay?
Yeah, Sana's
Is
fine.
emergency food okay?
Emergency food is fine. Your animals are probably gonna be running a bit low on food. You might want to stop and make some more prep, but it should be fine for now.
Mm-hmm.
For at least the journey back to town, they should be fine.
It's a few days.
But this does give you some time as he's getting them ready to move. He gives you some time to have your conversation.
So, Zekel,
Yes.
I guess I should start by sort of asking, you have no problem with a outsider, I guess, taking that trial of sorts?
Of course not.
Right,
Very
well,
much welcomed within our tribe.
I guess I'll get the awkward stuff out of the way first. For back on the squid thing, I think as you put it, I just kind of want to apologize for the way I spoke. I'm, as you can imagine, quite protective over Rune.
No, I understand.
I have a bit of a history where, let's just say, family is not something that sticks around for long.
No, that's
But
fair.
look, you didn't do anything wrong at the end of the day. You were not it was not your own mind. And I just want you to know that that's kind of my bad for the way I acted. I'm not very good at this apologizing thing.
No, that's all right. Honestly, it sounds bad, but it's to be expected from you, which puts me at ease. Honestly, the consistency of who you are.
Someone's got to act like a mother. uh, though, outside of that, there was another thing I wanted to ask of you. Well, not
Yes.
of you, but more about you. Once you're done with your, I suppose you call it a quest?
My trials, yeah.
Yes, your trials specifically. Did you plan to settle down with anyone back at your clan there?
Well, my original aspirations for when I left the first time was better myself, prove to everyone else that I was, how do I put this? That I wasn't to be taken as a joke, which is hard because where I come from is such an accepting and nurturing family that I guess I just ended up beating myself up over situations that would happen. I disappoint myself a lot, and the disappointment hurts because everybody else says everything is fine, but I don't feel fine. So these days I'm not entirely sure. Didn't expect 12 months to change me so much.
Well, I don't see a reason to rush to coming to that conclusion. But whatever you decide, and at the end of the day, it's your call here. You can see me as a friend in the party, or if you really want to see me as a third mother figure, you may. Either way, by the end of this, we'll finish your quest, get back there, and hopefully you'll know by then if you want to settle down with one of the cuties or continue traveling with us. You might find another goal entirely, who knows?
But only time will tell.
I feel like I have a lot I need to figure out about myself as well. But for the time being, I know what my focus must be.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Shall we go rejoin the others, or you want to stay at the entrance to the cave here for a bit longer?
No, we'll get a move on. And Ardax, thank you
For what?
for being real with me.
It's better to be honest sometimes.
It only takes so much coddling.
I'm sure the others will be a lot of help on your journey as well.
I look forward to it.
With that, Ardax will just sort of give a head nod rather than a... Well, actually, no, Ardax will sort of hold out for a handshake at least.
I go in for a big old hug.
I was going to do the same with the sort of bro hug motion, but yeah,
Nah.
that works too. And with that, I guess we'll head back in.
Okay.
So, how's prep going, everyone?
I'm ready to go whenever.
Yeah, I think this should be good.
Did anyone remember to feed Sana?
I do not eat Mistress Ardax.
Oh, right. Don't mind me.
As the little confusion settles in, as a lot of you begin your journey through the mountain range. Where are you guys heading? You're gonna head straight to... Yeah, where are you guys heading? I don't know where you're gonna go next.
Yeah,
Do
it's a
we
good
want to
question.
go back to town and stock up, or do we want to head straight across?
Shander and stock up.
And also sell all that dope shit that we got,
Yeah.
if we didn't do that already.
Okay. Can I get 2 mountain checks from whoever's leading?
I'll do it.
DC 15 survival.
Oh, right on that borderline. You said 2?
2 days, 2 separate days.
Not as good.
It takes you a bit longer to come the way back. You're you spend some time going around an area you think is going to be a lot more sensitive to avalanches, so you spend a bit more time. But you don't get lost or anything, it's just more time to take. Eventually, you make your way back onto the area, near the river. You travel up it towards the Ten Trail and make your way up to Bryn Shander, where you all go sell your things, which we will do after session, as long as a list of things is made up for me to give money to. And you all get the room in the inn. You all resupply on rations for yourself and for your animals.
Right back at Bryn Shander.
Yes.
I'd like to go to the magic shop and have the person look at the things I found.
Okay.
The hat and monocle.
You go.
The chance.
The next morning, after you come back, she has a look at Melora has a look at your things, and she's like, she has a look at the monocle. It's like, this is interesting. While it's not exactly a common variation of this, someone seems to have tinkered with magic and technology to make an eye minute seeing. It allows you to see things better within a closer range, and when you're spending some time researching, when you're spending some time searching an area looking for things, this has a way to help you find them a bit more easier.
Interesting.
And she has a look at the coif and is like, oh.
Slug cat.
She tats it, and it's like, and this icky thing is this is a helm of detect thoughts, though it does look alien in nature. I wouldn't personally use it myself, but to each their own. But this will allow you to cast the detect thoughts spell so often, and it can also let you cast suggestion.
Interesting.
Although you won't be taken seriously while wearing it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't take me seriously anyway.
That's fair.
If we were popping by to get things checked, do you think I could ask Melora if the black liquid from the tentacle of the Nautiloid is worth anything?
Oh yeah, I'll also show her the space gun, rifle and pistol. See if she thinks of them and if she would want them.
She can flat out buy them from me if she wants, but
she casts Identify on the rifles and is like, whatever they are, they're just advanced technology. I can sort of use it to figure out how it works, but I'm not a marksman myself. I'm not very particularly good at firing crossbow or bow, so if you're proficient in ranged weaponry, it might take a while, but you could use these yourself, or they do seem to pack a punch. Whatever it fires, it's a lot of looks like pure light, so might be good.
Trust me, they hurt to be shot by.
She nods and she has a look at the liquid. From what I can tell, this is some dark ichor or something. I'm not an alchemist, sadly. That's not my profession. I'm more of an enchanter. I don't know how useful this could be. To me, it's not useful, but to an alchemist, it could be very useful. If you can find one, that'd be the best place.
I wonder if I can find that alchemist I found the first time I was here. Well, thank you. I will leave you as Irok, and I need to go find an alchemist. Time to go search Bryn Shander for the rest of the day.
I was actually wondering.
Mhm.
I've got this armor. I was wondering how much it would cost to get it enchanted to help me in cold climates.
glad I left.
Items.
I already have a bit of a debt with her.
Chainmail of cord resistance. Okay. So you're ready. She has a look at it. It's already mithril. It's quite magical in and of itself, so it might be a little bit of a challenge to make sure it still keeps its properties as it has in mithril. Adding a base enchantment doesn't cost super much, but let me just have a look at chainmail just to see what it's normally costing. Well, you're providing the material, but it's already a little bit magical, so there is a reverse thing. I'll roughly say it's going to be around 2,575 GP.
Alright, good to know. Thank you very much.
Still less than what I owe. But
She gives us a nod. Sorry, I can't help it.
Oh, that's alright.
It's a bit of a process to enchant something that's already magical.
Very well.
Get your boots enchanted.
Could I just get like one of my bits of clothing enchanted then? Would that be cost less?
I could round it down to 2,000 gold, but it's
Alright,
still...
that's alright. I should have seen that coming, but yeah, fair enough. Thank you very much.
She nods.
Head out.
You look around for an alchemist. There's a small alchemist shop. It really only ever has like common potions, like basic healing and stuff like that. But it's
doesn't have to be the same one I sold stuff to the other time, does it?
no.
Okay.
If you're asking them to have a look at the Ica, they
Simply if they can give me a rough value sort of estimation.
where'd you get it? Seems to be unknown.
Yeah. Well, I guess it is a kind of a weird thing to find.
Well, I really can't tell you what it's going to be costing if I don't know how useful it's going to be. I need to know the source for it to determine the price.
Oh, right. If I said what looked like a transport vessel with tentacles and kind of alive, would that help?
Now, are you saying you've took this something from Illithids?
I sliced open a tentacle, drained a bit of it out, and then, well, let's just say that thing is no more. It kind of blew up.
Thing?
The ship itself, it
Oh.
exploded.
Well, Illithids are rare. This could fetch a decent price. I don't know how well it's going to be used for an alchemical agent, but if you're willing, I can. He has a look at his coffers, and he's just like, I can part with 500 gold.
For the 2 vials? That's actually that's kind of a good price.
Well, it's a rare thing you found. Not many nautiloids land in Icewind Dale or on the planet at all.
Well, it's rare enough to find an alchemist as well.
But frankly, people might be buying this for more. But I'm unknown of what it can do, as most people would be. So I did have to take a deduction of the cost for that reason.
It takes out the risk, I understand that.
But it still could be used for something. And sadly, I don't really earn a lot. There are adventurers in Icewind Dale, but most of them leave Icewind Dale.
If that is a rough price and you're willing to keep that in mind for the next time we meet, I can have a ask around to see if I can find out more info about this stuff.
Sure,
and we can come to some kind of deal at that point.
that's understandable.
In the meantime, though, this might be a weird ask, but as an alchemist, would you happen to recommend any types of leaves that could be used for versions of tea, perhaps?
Yeah, and he like goes down and he goes to like a non-magical section. And he has he pulls out a bunch of stuff. It's like, we have a whole bunch of leaves. This is good for black tea. He pulls out black tea. So these are roots and nuts and stuff found from that have been. It's a little bit gross, but this has been taken from. It's been pre-digested by some dinosaurs in Schult. Apparently, has a very musky taste, but still, it's quite an oddity. But it tastes rather nice. There's also just some other basic teas that come across favoring.
What's your sort of selling price for a mixture, like a bit of each?
I can give you 20 bags of tea for 5 gold for a variety of different rarities and all that.
You know what? That sounds good.
He
You've
nods
made
at
yourself a sale.
He looks around and he gets a small wooden box and he starts placing different tea samples
Just
into it.
deducted, and I'm just adding an item of mixed tea bags.
He hands the small box to you. Pleasure doing business.
Mm-hmm. What was it? 20 roughly?
20 tea bags, yeah, for 5 gold.
Thank you. I already deducted the gold, so done. With that, I'll go look around, find the others, I guess. We'll figure out where they've all went that are remaining.
What's everyone else doing?
I got a question. Who wants to keep what out of the items that we're selling? Because I have already tallied everything.
What are you selling? This is what's in the party inventory.
I'm wondering if anybody wants to keep anything.
Are we talking about the stuff in the
Party sheet.
right?
We have to get rid of the decorative beads from there because that was from the quest where we got the.
I didn't add them.
Alright, sweet.
There's no
We
price
should
for them.
Oh yeah, we have to
keep
get
all
rid of
the
them because it
pearls.
was.
You want to keep all the pearls, the black one and the 2 normals.
Honestly, just keep one normal and one black, I'd say.
There was only 1 black, and the black pearl was worth 500 gold pieces.
Never mind, we'll just keep one normal pearl. What was the peridot leaf again?
It's a gem shaped like a leaf.
Oh, right. Everything.
There's
else is
everything in
magical.
here was non-magical. Pretty sure we already.
Yeah, I'd just say keep one pearl and that's it.
Alright, keeping the
Do we
pearl.
want to keep the helm of telepathy that I got, the slug helm? Does anyone like?
Up to you.
Because I could take it or leave it, honestly. Because you can detect thoughts, and then use that to message the person if they fail it. But they have to be within 30 feet, I think,
It's
for it to
totally up
work.
to
So.
you.
I was just thinking if someone wants it. Yeah, they have
I mean,
to.
I can wear it if you want me to. I think that would be strange.
Well, I was just wondering if people think it would actually be useful for us or not.
Helm
Then
of
you can-
telepathy.
Never
can
know when
cast-
it possibly could
Yeah.
become useful, but she did also say she wouldn't wear that because it's alien.
It also
we could
looks
look-
like a giant slug was the main thing. She said she don't want to wear it.
Mm.
Well, yeah, but like she might buy it because like
Looks
who
like a
knows, maybe
slug
she
or
knows.
is a slug?
Huh?
Yeah,
Looks
does it
like a
like
slug
move on
or
its own?
is a slug?
It looks like a slug. It also like breathes.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Because you have to attune to it, don't you?
Yeah.
would hope
Yeah.
so for something that lets you cast Detect Thoughts.
Yeah, detect thoughts, and then once a day, you can do cast suggestion to someone that you have done detect thoughts on.
So I've been thinking
So-
about the Detect Thoughts spell for like 4 weeks. Not for this campaign, but just the spell in general, and
Yeah.
it's pretty handy.
Yeah.
Now, if the person, so you have to cast it within 30 feet. If they leave that 30 feet, does it disconnect them?
I would imagine so. Like if the Detect Thoughts spell is outside the 30 feet.
Yeah, if it's like if you
Yeah,
got
if
it
you
to work
disconnect
and
the
then they
person,
leave
you're-
the area.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking we might be able to like use it for a message thing if people go off on their own. Because you can send a message through it.
Whoever goes off on their own, that never happens.
Yeah.
What?
I think like 2 of us have never gone off on our own.
Oh, it only lasts a minute. So it
Yeah,
won't
but
even be that
the
useful.
Detect Thoughts aspect is different from the messaging aspect, I'd imagine, yeah?
Well, no, to do the message, you have to detect their thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then if you want to do the suggestion, you have to have detect thoughts, and it's just a flat 13 save for wisdom on both, so they have to fail twice on a low roll to do suggestion. I don't know, hold on to it now. Maybe we'll find someone that's into that. Maybe they'll also want the alien guns.
Yeah, there'll be some sort of alien fanatic. So, with
Yeah.
selling everything besides 1 pearl, would give us 3,205 gold pieces
If
at a
they
flat
bought-
rate,
if
not
they-
counting what
yeah.
AJ wants.
If they bought a thing, and if you can find someone to buy a ceremonial ball with 1,000 GP
Yeah.
in Icewind Dale.
But that's like the potential of it all.
I can't. Wait, just give me all the money. I can get cold resist, guys. Don't want to sell anything.
So, do you want to hold on to the pearl then, Mim?
Yeah, I'll hold on to it. Let me just drag it. There we go.
Alright, and the charismatic people can go sell all of our cool shit.
Yes.
That's Jensen with me as backup.
Okay.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah, fuck you. I got the second highest charisma.
You guys will be fine.
Right then. So, what are you guys planning to do next on your journey?
Well, I guess we'll finish selling stuff, doing all that, and then will we go to the other camp or the Berserker Cave? I think was also around there. We said we're going to do
Drugs.
those 2 things. Drugs, that also works.
I feel like we should probably go like straight to maybe the other Goliath place.
Those
But Berserker Cave.
traders don't happen to be in town, do they?
You haven't seen them?
Okay, I can live with that.
We don't have to beeline it straight to the other tribe. We can go do stuff on the way. What's
Yeah, that's what I
another
mean. Because
couple
I'm pretty sure
of
the
weeks?
Berserker cave is that same direction.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan
And-
of efficient quests.
I think, is Lucky back or is he still Burb?
I'm here.
Okay, as long as we're here for this conversation as well. With that, I'll discuss payment after session if you are trying to sell everything here.
Yep.
But I think it's a little bit early, but I think it's a good place to end as you'll stock up, get some rest, and begin your journey to the east side of Icewind Dale, the other spine of the world, to find a goal to complete over there.
Would it be easier to go from Doggin's Hole or East Haven?
Who knows, man?
We'll find out, I'm sure.
We'll find out. But thanks for joining us. It was a lot of fun. I didn't want to make Goat Ball the entire thing. That's why I split it up towards the end. But
Go ball!
Goat Ball.
You can't put a game in front of me. I'm gonna play it.
Let's Goat Ball. But I hope everyone had fun. Hope some good RP came out of today, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Tomorrow I'll be playing Near Part 2 for real this time. My net's pretty much fixed up, I think, but if it's not, I'll try and do the solution that I found last time, which was switching the router off and on again, but like that was stupid. Why didn't I think of that the first time? Is the main thing. But Wednesday is more Nuzlocke. Thursday is probably not Zelda. I think Kim's working late, so we'll figure out what's going on with Thursday. But Friday is session 8, I think, or 9 of Echoes of the Forgotten, and they're in a very fun spot. The Depression Trifactor is what we like to call it, me and Darren. But other than that, yeah, I think that's everything that's coming up for me. Check out Snowfox, AU, and Zacera. I've been playing some DBD lately. I don't know if they've got set times or anything, but yeah.
Not really.
But yeah, check their Discords or Twitter or whatever they post on and watch them play DBD. It's a game that they play, and that's all I have to say on it.
You should join us sometime, AJ.
I dislike DBD.
That's fine.
Completely understandable. I hate the game too, but I still play it.
But yeah.
Rufus, shut up.
But yeah, if anyone else wants to say anything, go ahead. If I've got anything to announce or whatever. But
No.
other than
You're
that-
crazy.
The new
Please
Mortal
donate
Kombat
to-
movie is dope.
Huh?
Is it?
Please donate to
Damn.
me so
Yeah.
I can get
I
cold
loved it.
resistance.
Please donate. Send a $5 to get armor for physical.
Yeah,
Armor for Zara.
yeah.
For the
No, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll throw it in the deepest hole I can find.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Just no, I'm not here. Just keeping everyone alive whenever I can.
We already have a healer. His name is Jensen. I don't know what the problem is. But don't do drugs. Stay in school. Or do. Or don't. I'm not your dad. I love you anyway. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye.
There's